And especially for playable Zelda, that alone kind of like shocks me because like, you know, that I'm pretty sure in Tears of the Kingdom that's not going to happen.
Miles, how quickly forget the greatest of the CDI, where they let you play Zelda for the first time ever.
No.
You love the Philips CDI, you know.
Here we
Hotel
go.
Mario fans?
What's wrong with you?
Why? Why would you bring this up? Why?
I'm just saying it's not the first time she's been playable. Google it, kids. Learn something new today.
There you go. Benvenidos, Mima-san. Welcome to the 10th episode. That's right, 10th episode of Otaku podcast. I guess, guys, I'm back. I'm in control.
Again, once again.
No.
Da, da, da.
And
we've been copyright strike already. Oh, well, we tried.
Yeah. So, guys, we're out here, I guess. You know, I guess while we're here, of course, my brother Ray, the man behind the wheel of the podcast.
Beep, beep again. Once again, who's driving this, Miles? Who's the driver? Is there anyone?
See, it's one of those brand new Teslas, right?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna explode any second now.
Yeah, but we could play Tetris or we could play games before we explode.
That's what I need to do when I'm driving. You know, I'm driving down the 405. I'm like, you know what I need to do? A nice quick match of Tetris, real quick.
Hey, come play Street Fighter.
Or take a nice nap. You know, whatever you feel like.
That's what the car was made for.
It was made for. I paid all this money just so I could take a nap, and I'm sure everyone's safer on the streets of LA.
And of course, hi Frank. How you doing?
Hi. Good to be back.
All right, welcome back for this.
You keeping your eyes open on the road, Frank?
No, it's too scary.
Well, that's why you have a Tesla, Frank. Don't worry about it. Let the car does all the heavy lifting for you.
Okay, and let's say hello to the soundboard.
I can't take that ride.
Exactly, it's just not safe. And only you 90s kids even get that reference at all.
And it doesn't.
Does anyone remember what broadcast television is my first question.
See, before digital, there was the airwaves, Tana.
Welcome to Taco, the old man's podcast. Off the bat, leave it to Miles.
Old man talking in their box. and
somehow sending it to the airways accidentally on the internet.
Yeah. I guess our main topic, I guess, for today would be we're talking about our favorite, I guess, Memorial Day, right? I kind of like...
It's a time for reflection, perhaps.
Yeah, reflection of games and other things that we, over the years that we might have passed by or glance or, you know, I guess give them a salute. I guess, right?
Sure. A wink and nod to things that didn't happen that perhaps we'd like a sequel to would be our main topic for this week.
Why is it mostly only looking at Sony? Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go there, let's go into our weeks. I guess since I just came back, I guess I'll go first.
Welcome back.
Just hogging the microphone already, huh?
Yeah.
Good old podcast.
Let them cook. Cook.
Yeah. Don't worry.
All right.
Let's go.
So I guess it's been a while. So the game I want to talk about today, because I know I'll get to talk about your Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. Sure. So I went backwards a bit, and I'm playing the Zelda, the Age of Calamity, or Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I guess.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, which I guess the way you say it, every time I have a hard time saying it out loud. It's a Switch game. It's supposed to be like a prequel kind of to Breath of the Wild. But it's what do you call it, Muso, or I guess I don't know. It's like a
Dynasty Warriors.
A Dynasty Warriors game, which like there are many enemies on the screen. You attack those enemies with strong and weak attacks. I mean, with the combos go up, combos go out, and you're dispatching enemies here and there. You know, off the bat, this is my first game I played because we have a couple of them there. So, well, I have the other one, Hyrule Warriors, of course. Ray also has to have the two Fire Emblem games, right?
Yes, I have both, and never touched the three houses, and started like 30 minutes of Warriors and said, what else is there to play?
So I guess I'm the brave soul on this trip, and I guess
I did talk about Strikers for a minute on the third episode of the podcast. I have tried. It did not work out well for me.
So, you know, like I mentioned, so it's a kind of prequel. So it's set 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild. Shock, I know, right? Basically, I did like the fact that I guess we open up with Link being kind of like a soldier, like in the army. That there's something different about this guy. You know, clearly,
everyone's got no face, but this one guy has a face.
This guy has a face, like looks like the protagonist, like the classic anime protagonist, right? I wonder if he's important. I don't know. Looks like he has more character design than everyone else here, but yeah, sure.
Chosen one.
And I do like, and then the king's like, I like to kill this guy's jib.
There it is.
You know, this guy's doing pretty well. I want, come with me. You do pretty well, soldier, for one battle, I guess. I'll now make my the princess handler, basically. Which I think, wow, that's a pretty level up, right? You just do like one job and you're moving up to the royal court. Dang, you know,
He's very good at his job.
And I guess it's weird because also like some time travel shenanigans. You know,
Right.
yeah, some time travel shenanigans happen. But regardless of that, you know, pretty much the just the game is that you're trying to build your army and try to recruit the 4 champions and like basically explain how we get Zora, Goron, and everyone become champions. Then how do we lose this, guys?
Don't we know how we like? But I was gonna say, isn't this like Fate Zero all over again? Of like, don't we know how this ends? Question mark.
Yeah, but don't you want to know how or why character beats? You know, and that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, it is neat because a lot of characters that you couldn't play as a player, you could play in this game. Like you play as a king.
Huh.
You could play as all the 4 other champions. And you could even play Zelda. That's right, folks. We have a playable Zelda
in a Zelda game.
That
doesn't sound right.
No, man. People are like flipping. They're like, wait, what?
It's impossible.
So yeah, just the game is, you get, you go on missions with a certain character. Choose a character you want, level that character up. You get their weapon, level that up, and then you see numbers go up. I call it the numbers go up game. Like this number is this. Now, so you level this thing up till you get to a certain point, and then you level that, switch that one for another weapon. So it's a lot of number grinding, and a lot of material collecting to do bigger things, big numbers, go woohoo.
So is it like a very linear game versus like Breath of the Wild? Because Breath of the Wild's like, oh, explore the land of Hyrule and mystery. Is it just like, well, Link, you know how this works? Go kill this monster guy, will you?
It is breakdown like in little chapters, like chapter breakdown, but they're like little quests side quests you can do on the side.
Huh.
It is basically the whole map of, I guess, Breath of the Wild map, I guess. So the like little icons will pop up. You do little missions, or you do like little tasks, and you like unlock like 2 more hearts of Link, or you could do more combo, like higher up combos, right? Like you just like you unlock like abilities, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, mentioned, stats go big, stats go boom. You get weapons. Weapons have certain like seal. Like see, every time it reminds me you and Frank about Fire Emblem. And see, I got this weapon. This weapon has like +3 this, and it has a plus, and it gives me less hearts like this. But if I put this and this together, put these weapons the same seal together, then it makes this. It's just a lot of weapon upgrading, a little time consuming,
and
a lot of hoping you can find rupees. You have to beat each level again. Oh, I ran out of money. I guess I gotta beat this level over and over again to grind for items to get this item. It's probably the easiest. Well, I mean, it's easy because it's a Zelda game, right? So it can't be too hard, like grinding wise. Because you said to like you could put it for easy, medium to like what is it? Not very hard, but it was like apocalyptic. I think some of that, like the hardest setting. And I guess if you be in a harder setting, you get more money, but of course, people damage you more harder.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of enemies now have weak point gauge, so you have to knock that down first to then, I guess, do like real damage. I guess, or do a super attack.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of characters. Everyone. There's a character if you like. From that Breath of the Wild, right? They're most like a playable game. There's like I didn't count like 12 extra, like 12 characters you could play all together. And that's kind of because I also bought the expansion pass because I could.
Mm-hmm.
Which unlocks more stuff and more combo numbers, and things go up. But overall, I think the story pretty much, I think it does what Breath of the Wild never did, which was explain these characters, right? Or maybe you understand the backgrounds a little bit more. How like certain characters' relationships are. So like they touch a little bit on like in Breath of the Wild, but they could expand a little bit more. Kind of okay, so this character's like this to this character. And I guess it does a lot better storytelling than the goofy Breath of the Wild is pretty much like but you were exploring the game, right? That's Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think it can be a little tedious if you're not used to if you're like you like doing the same thing over and over and over and over.
I was about to ask you this.
Then you might get a little bored of it. But if you stick with it, and then the more as numbers go up and you kind of able to get more combos going, things are a little bit easier to do. Like, for example, obviously Link gets the Master Sword. What? Shock,
Who'da
right?
thunk?
I know. But you've leveled that puppy up like to like its max level, and then it unlocks like a hidden ability, so like make things go quicker because it makes numbers go up. That's like the gist of it. But they do, you're there for the characters and like you like I want to play as the king, right? It's like, and especially for playable Zelda, that alone kind of like shocks me because like that's I'm pretty sure in Tears of the Kingdom that's not going to happen.
Miles, how quickly forget the greatest of the CDI, where they let you play Zelda for the first time ever.
No.
You love the Philips CDI,
Here we
Hotel
go.
Mario fans?
What's wrong with you?
Why? Why would you bring this up? Why?
I'm just saying it's not the first time she's been playable.
We tried to forget, Ray. We tried to forget.
Google it, kids. Learn something new today.
There you go. Google. There's a phrase right there. But overall, I enjoyed the game. Minus like those repetitiveness.
That's a word, yes.
It's a word I made now.
Sure.
And I do like the fact that I could actually play in Japanese because the English and the English voice acting in the Breath of the Wild was a lot to be desired.
Uh-huh.
But I do like the fact, you can switch it right here and the subtitles. Wow.
If only we could do that in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, ?
You can do it.
Can you do it in Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
And it's still, the subtitle's still in English?
Wait, you need the subtitles?
My Japanese ain't so bueno.
Yeah, I think you can, because I was messing with that the other day, and I was like, let me see what I was trying in like in Spanish and then German and all that.
I would prefer it. I don't know what it is, but the Zelda lady, she just doesn't do it for me.
No.
I think she's okay, but I think the direction they made her do Zelda is a little jarring, especially.
It's very comedical. Hello, it's me, Princess Zelda. Everyone, a British person. Can't you tell my accent?
And especially like in the age.
You sound like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Exactly my point.
No.
Yeah, and
She's like one step away, man. One step away.
But regardless of that, overall I have fun. I did finish the game yesterday, but I guess I'm willing to do all the side content or the post season. Sounds weird.
Very post season.
After the final,
After multiple years.
They made the playoffs?
We made the playoffs, and
Exactly.
I guess
This time we're doing it,
and
fellas.
now it's the after season. What?
We're going to E3.
But overall, I do enjoy its uniqueness in the sense, that it, despite being a Muso game, right? That do like it feels like it feels like a Zelda game, like the UI, everything like it. I guess that's how they make these games, right? Like it looks like the game, like this UI, right? Here's the UI about this game, but also but then you get to the gameplay, it's like, whoa, this is
Recreate the world of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, so it's a very good faithful adaptation
Mm-hmm.
of the game. So I am playing like this. Unless you get to the gameplay, I can tell if this is a Zelda, not a Zelda game, right? It doesn't look that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't you have a issue with trying to do things over and over, you probably want you'll have a little difficulty with it because that's the gist of the game. Is like you gotta do things over to get items, to get weapons, to do more stats, to do stuff.
What difficulty did you play on?
I played on normal because of my first run. I didn't know I'm not that sure. I probably get too hard now since I have leveled up enough. I think I could survive. But I haven't tried it yet. I know if you put on easy, you get more rupees out of it. That's what I read about on the net. That if you want, rupee farming, I guess you want to play easy because you get more rupees at the end of the day doing certain things or just certain like missions. I guess that's like you do this and you get the rupees because you need rupees to level up your weapons. And
Get better swords than the Master Sword.
Yeah, but Ray, that's the thing, right? Because you just do other things like to fight. I'm doing electricity, right? Then you use a sword that has like electricity, electricity dampener, I guess, or it
Some kind of status effect.
It's status effect on that, but but it's Link has the Master Sword, right? And nothing can beat the Master Sword.
According to the lore, that's what they tell me.
So I guess it's weird having that as an option. So I will not use the Master Sword. No, I'm not. I will beat Ganon with
only for Ganon. I will
beat Ganon with this stick.
Come here, Ganon.
Come over here. Just come closer. I'll poke you. Come over here.
You've heard the Great Naruto Bridge. All you're doing callbacks to last episode. If I build it, I'll just clonk it over his head.
So I enjoyed it, and that's pretty much most of my time. The last since I've been gone. So I guess I'll conclude my week.
It's tempted to do a Kelly Clarkson person, but I'm not good enough.
Please don't. Just don't.
I thought about it. Let the viewers know. I did think about it. Listen.
Frank, do you want to save us from this and talk about your week?
What have you been doing since you've been gone, Frank?
Well, I wanted to talk about.
No. Let's just leave this behind.
I thought the music was really good in that game.
Yeah. No. It like I said, they're very good at adapting the source material.
I guess I do have a question. I feel like you didn't get all the characters?
I know technically I'm missing one, but
I feel you're missing two. I don't know if you want me to tell you or not, but I won't tell you.
What did tease over here, Frank? Is?
Well, I won't tell you unless you say something.
Let's ask for it, Frank, to let me know. Oh, okay.
I played.
Learning a lot here today.
I played it in the hardest mode, and it is very challenging. It didn't feel repetitive,
right?
Because I had to switch between characters a lot of times.
Yeah.
Also, I played it co-op, so that made it, I think, a more enjoyable experience. It looks worse, a lot worse in co-op, but this game would be so cool, good, either one. If you could play co-op on separate systems, so that you have your full screen and
So I was gonna say, so you could play with someone else on split screen on the big tube.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
like you said, I was gonna ask you how good is that run, and you just explained it not too well. It sounds like.
Well, it's still the Switch, right?
I
actually, like real quick, performance, real quick. Actually, despite being numbers people on screen, like 80%, 90% of the time, it runs well. It's not until like I run to environments or like when it gets like literally too hot, like
too many people or something,
and then like oh here comes the bottleneck,
the chug.
But for overall, like for how many enemies on screen and stuff like that, surprisingly it runs pretty well.
Well, to try to finish my thoughts on it real quick, I do feel it because I've played all the Hyrule Warriors, both of them, and both of the Fire Emblem ones, and this one's by far the best one, and the Persona one. This is by far the best one. I feel like they did a good job of adding story during the battle. The commentary makes it a little different. The characters, my favorite one was Zelda, and then Zelda has two versions, or actually three if you get the DLC.
Yeah, I got all those.
Depending on what happens in Ocarina of Time, that's the Zelda you get.
No.
I see the timeline.
And the part when you get the second version, I thought that part was really cool how they did that. I wish that was integrated into the actual game.
If only.
Well, that means to be a playable Zelda, and that's we can't
do that here. Zelda in a Zelda game? I can't do that.
Yeah, Minfa was really good too because she was like the only healer in the game.
Yeah.
The armors were kind of interesting because sometimes it depended on the element.
Wait, I just realized the armors do something in that game.
Yeah. If you look at the color of the armor, then you have to hit it with that color element, and it'll break faster.
Oh yeah. Because there's like ruins, like Breath of the Wild. There's like ruins that pop up and say, "Here are the bombs," and like the.
Oh, that's another thing I liked because everybody has bombs, magnet, time stop, and
all the abilities.
Yeah, but every character has a different version of it.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's very unique how like just real quick about like certain characters like. Some have like big bombs, some have small bombs. They're all they have the same type ability, but they're all different.
Slightly variants.
And also like certain characters do more stuff like damage wise. So like certain characters like up in the air and stuff, like you get certain characters that could do a lot of like mid range attacks. You use that instead. Or if you're dealing with like tough fire items, like usually I use like Derek, the Goron. I use him pretty much like with fire, like big fire
that's
enemy.
The worst character.
I would argue 4 of them are the worst character if you play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's really good. I listened to the final boss song, which I think you might have not have gotten to. Did you do all the side quests after you beat the game?
No, not yet. I don't
think you got to.
I'm currently getting there right now because I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish the game for the podcast, I guess, so that way I complete this completely 100%. But no, obviously there's a lot. No, that game, like you said, there's a lot of content in the game. You could play the game for a good while if you try to do everything.
I feel like to get the full experience of this game, you have to play it on the highest difficulty and with someone else. And
the Frank method.
I mean, you can play it alone, but then you would really do need to grind a lot. But if you have someone else, you can kind of compensate for that.
Right.
Yeah.
But just I remember not the ending of the game, but if you do all the quests, you get the true final
Yeah,
mission.
I know there's a true ending if I do all the certain quests.
Yeah. And,
Ganondorf, when did you get here?
Yeah.
And that battle, I feel like it's so cool because even with playing it with my brother, we will keep losing because you have to attack many strongholds at the same time.
Yeah.
So each of us was controlling multiple characters just to not lose.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was really fun the way they did that, and it is like a lot of senseless slashing, but the mini bosses kind of make it feel like not that. Because I felt like whenever you fight those big monsters, it was a trick to it. You had to figure out the timing of dodging and stuff like that. So that in that respect, I think it was different because they do that in the other ones, but they don't do such a good job in it. And like in the Three Houses and the original Hyrule Warriors, it doesn't feel like I need much talent to get through it.
Right.
You could just slash your way through it. As long as you have the number to go up, then you could just go through it easily.
In this one, if you can't figure out the timing to dodge, you're not gonna get through that shield. And then the other one's like, okay, you are chipping at it very slowly. If you dodge, it'll be better, but you don't have to do it. And I feel this one, dodging is essential.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, I want to get into it. And I talked about Persona. So I've never played the Dynasty or the Samurai Warriors, but I did. The first Hyrule's I got into it a little bit, and I liked it enough. But I didn't finish it. Didn't come close to it. And then I played the Fire Emblem Warriors, the first one.
Crap.
And I played it for like 20 minutes and I said, no, thank you. I did the same thing for Persona 5 Strikers, but that one was really just, I really love Persona 5 and I lingered, but it, like I said, I only stuck with it like maybe the first, I don't know, maybe like 3-5 hours.
I was burnt out.
But it's just, like you kind of mentioned, the kind of mindless hack and slashing it just turns me off. I like a good hack, like your God of Wars, your Devil May Cry's. I kind of like the genre of game, but there's something about these Muso games or however you want to call them that I just find them very mindless button mashing la games that I just can't seem to get interested in.
I think you should play it in the hardest mode so that it's not mindless bashing. That
would maybe help.
And just get through the story. One last thing, I can't figure out if it's canon or not. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not because of what happens.
Well, I could talk about, but I guess that'd be spoiler.
Spoiler. We shouldn't talk about it.
Think of the children, folks.
I want to finish Tears of the Kingdom, see if anything pops up.
I see.
But I feel like there's no way that it's canon.
Right, it's not an official Nintendo license, or I guess it is Nintendo license, but it's not a real Zelda game because it wasn't made by Nintendo. It's not a
first party game, but it's like, I guess,
I don't know.
Second part?
Sure, it was greenlighted by Nintendo, but that's about it.
Licensed by Nintendo, but not made by Nintendo.
Basically,
it just opens up some possibilities, but I feel like they're not gonna say it's official.
I'm curious, but at the same time, like I don't know. I'm having a good time with Tears of the Kingdom. Let the past die, I say.
I could tell you after the podcast if you want.
Yeah, but like I said, Robbie Games spoilers. I can probably keep going a little bit, but I want to eventually get to where you guys are at in Tears of the Kingdom. And for that, I guess I'll pass my baton once again to Frank.
Oh, thanks.
I will take that from you,
Frank. So there's like,
don't mind if I do.
All right, so I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom too much. My eyes were hurting.
Ouch.
Headaches, so I had to stop. I did about 80 shrines and 30 of the other shrines and 30 of the Koroko seeds. Or...
No more Koroko seeds. No more seeds.
But they need our help. They're so lost.
What else did I do? I did 4 of the main missions. A bunch of side. I finished the, what do you call it? The news, what do you call it? The news missions?
Okay. You visit all the different stables.
Yeah, you go, the stable missions. Yeah, I did those. And then
so you've seen the whole map, you've unlocked the map.
Yeah.
And did I understand correctly? Did you do all 4 of the main missions?
No, I I did 3.
Three of the
I
main missions.
I
Gotcha.
just got
Gotcha.
to the desert, and that's the last one I need to do.
Oh, okay. Get you.
I left that one for last because I feel like that's the one I'm gonna like the most.
It's pretty good. Without getting too details, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I based it on the characters, so I'm like, I wanted to do the volcano because I'm like, I don't like that guy. But that
get
part,
it over with.
That part was a little hard to go to, because you had to wear the armor.
Right, it's hot up there in the lava and all this and that.
I'm like,
Turns out
I'm too cheap to make potions. Or just lazy. I don't cook at all. I just eat everything raw.
That's good enough for me.
Salmonella, what's that?
Link,
It's fine. He's got an iron gut.
Yeah, he'll make it up, right?
Exactly.
He'll survive.
He does not have time to cook. Okay, this is
The power of the Triforce.
We're in a hurry.
Things to do.
So yeah, I after playing it, because we've talked about it in the last podcast. After playing it, all the things I said were true, but I feel there was missed opportunities. I feel like every time you finish a main mission, it's like cut and paste. The dialogue you have with and it's like, wait, the other guy said the same exact thing. So I feel it doesn't add to the story.
Oh, I think I get you now.
And then I can't say for sure because I haven't played the old Zeldas in a long time, like Link to the Past. I feel like they might do the same thing, but I guess this one feels more repetitive because they say so much, and the other one was like, like the old games, like, oh, the princess is not in this castle or something.
Right, basically.
Yeah, so if it was like that, then I would, but we'll see. I still have to finish it to have my final thoughts on it. It's still really good. I mean, I do play it, and then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my god, it's 4 hours later. So it's doing some things right.
Must be doing something.
Yeah, I did get the Master Sword.
Oh, all right.
But I don't use it.
Okay, I have not gone that far yet.
I don't need a Master Sword, frankly. I'll find with a stick.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I had to take a break because it was for health reasons.
Going too hard.
Yeah, so I started leveling up on Octopath Traveler because Ivan keeps talking about it, and I'm like, damn, gotta play it now. Because I never beat the true final boss. So technically I should be able to beat it, but I want to be overpowered so that I don't have to think. So that's what I'm doing. I'm probably gonna try to give it a go tomorrow. And what else am I playing? I wrote it down.
It's a long list here.
No, that's it. That's all I'm playing. I want to go back to Octopath.
Frank, what's this teaser?
I was gonna say, man, you just playing those 2 games alone. It's like, I'm impressed. You got more shit. Fuck me.
Yeah.
I'll catch up.
I this and then keep going.
I need to get on your level, Frank.
I did. I went back to reading Ipo. I haven't gotten past as far as I've been, but I'm like doing a little recap, and it's great as usual.
Still good.
Yeah, but I do skip the fights because I'm like, it's just fighting.
Yeah, you know how this works.
Yeah, I like the non-action parts.
It's like the Kingdom Hearts manga, right? Just like, and sure, we beat him. I got him.
Whew, that sure was a close one, wasn't it, Donald and Goofy? Sure was, Sora.
And the final 2 things that I did was watch the Mario movie finally.
All right. You didn't watch it when we talked about it on the podcast.
And I feel like you guys didn't do it justice. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was mediocre.
I thought it was really good.
It's like a little slight. It's fine for what it is.
It's a fine kids movie. Nothing more, nothing less. That's my opinion on it. But I'm a Sonic fan, so there's that.
Well, I've never raised a Sonic fan.
Can't trust me, apparently.
But that black process, no.
It wasn't fast. Gotta be fast. He wasn't fast enough.
No, I thought it was good. It had some. I'm always curious to see when they remake things or when they do things again in a different system.
Right.
What's the interpretation? And I thought it was nothing wrong with it. I thought I enjoyed seeing how they did it. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was just hoping Luigi would get a 1-up on Mario, but
no,
that's
for the sequel.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot. But I thought it was really good. Made me like Mario more, which is weird.
That is surprising.
And the final thing I did was watch the Spider-Man movie yesterday. It just came out.
Oh, you already the newest one.
Yeah.
What's it? Across the
Spider-Verse.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much
Please don't.
about it.
Yeah, definitely.
A thumbs up or thumbs down will suffice for me, please.
I liked it a lot. I
know it's okay.
I was talking to Ivan. My brother likes the first one more, but I like this one more. And 2 other people that came with us said it was boring. But I was like, no, it was like,
you guys crazy.
Without saying anything about the movie, they didn't like the beginning because it was like, the talking part.
Right. All
it wasn't the action.
Right.
And for me, that part was more interesting because Spider-Man is one of the better superheroes in my opinion, because his other life, his normal life is more interesting than other superheroes. I think that's what made the early Marvel movies really intriguing, like Iron Man.
Right.
And what made Smallville good in the beginning.
Once upon a time.
And then it was just like, once everybody knew who he was, and
right,
it was just like, like, oh, another supervillain. Yeah, he'll take care of it.
Yeah, he's got it.
But in the beginning, it's like, we cared, like, oh my God, he's going to miss first period or something.
Right,
like that.
there was some, little drama that we had.
And I felt like this movie and the first one and most Spider-Man movies, they have like that drama off, not superhero drama.
Right.
And I thought they do a good job with it. And
I hope so, because they know that Sony's provided a lot of money on that and the sequel. There's a lot.
Yeah, because now it's 2 movies.
It's very well done in my opinion. I think they did a good job of setting the tone. Like there was moments where like, oh man, this moment feels really cool. And then the dialogue was funny. I was like laughing at all the jokes. Me and my maybe I have a 5-year-old mind because me and my niece were cracking up.
Same wavelength.
If I had a complaint about it, it would be the beginning. And I think it was by choice. I think it depends on what world they're in, and the art, I would say, changes.
The way they stylize, like how they go into different dimensions, things like that.
So the one that doesn't hurt your eyes is the world of Miles Morales. But they spend time in Gwen's world, and for some reason in her world, everything, like the whole background, all the outlines of buildings and characters is like very colorful. It's like pink and like really bright colors. So that kind of hurt my eyes. But other than that, I thought the story was nice. But I am biased because I have a strong connection to these movies, and so it could be. I'm not
biased.
I'm very biased to this movie. I'll say that. Without even watching it, I liked it already. So but I feel pretty good trying to take that part of my brain out, that it is also a good movie, not just that,
Spider-Man's on screen.
Not just, right. Just the fanboy.
Yeah, so it was great. Hopefully it wins the Oscar, but that's asking for a lot, I know. So
could be.
Yeah, maybe it'll finally break the ceiling. Maybe.
I mean, it'd be nice if we took animated movies seriously. Oh, they're cartoons. They're kids' movies. Kids' movies can't win Oscars.
I mean, I would say that it's the best movie I've seen in a long time.
All right.
That's something. That's something.
Have you guys... I guess I've been busy. I watched Quantumania also.
Oh, the Ant-Man. We saw that when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
You liked it?
It was fine. It was okay.
I guess it is a weird...
It's a weird start to the new arc.
It's a weird start to have Ant-Man being kind of like this is the
anchor of this whole shtick in the phase.
The new Tony?
Yeah, I guess he's the new Tony Stark, I guess. Despite I don't want to say that, but I guess he kind of is.
That's because I guess Spider-Man can't get really...
Well, Spider-Man's busy determining what we're going to do with Spider-Man in the movies of the future.
So I guess Scott is. I guess
here's the problem, is when it comes to the Marvel stuff, I kind of just want... when are the X-Men? I feel like it's really... Either let me know when the X-Men and or Daredevil's back. Until then, I'm just kind of going through the motions, I feel like, personally.
Where is there... Like, did they take that off of Netflix?
Yes.
Did they put it on...
Disney Plus.
They put it there?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't seen it there.
It's there. It's hidden, but it's there.
Oh, okay.
The Netflix with Daredevil season, is it 2 season 2?
3.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, they're all the Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
It's all there now. They don't do a good job of
Jessica
advertising
Jones.
that. Then.
Yeah, they did, but like that was like months ago, and like it's old news.
We're down. We're now into the new stuff.
We're in, yeah, basically that's old news, Frank. Let's talk about more Ant-Man and
Spider-Man.
And what's the next movie in the lineup? Loki season 2?
I know. I think it's the Marvels. I think.
I gotta catch up.
Oh yeah, it's what like. I know I try to, and I think same for us. We basically watch them together, but it's kind of like we watch it, but I feel like we watch them more out of habit than actually do we want to.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think. I'm trying to think. Technically, in my head, I think it's a TV show first. I think it's the Secret Invasion.
Oh right, the Nick Fury one.
Yeah, I think after that, because they always do it like there's that, then some Marvels,
and something, and
then Loki's. I think in almost like end of the year.
I think that's the only one I'm currently looking forward to.
I gotta watch season 1.
Yeah, you haven't seen Loki season 1? Oh, that's the one. That's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's a better way of describing what's going on in Quantumania, pretty much.
Also, there's that too.
Because Quantumania pretty much is a quick gist.
Yeah, it's basically so I see you haven't seen Loki season 1. Well, here you go. Oh,
I liked it. I just didn't appreciate too much the mom. I just didn't like that she was like, "Oh, I'll tell you later." I'm like, "You can tell me now."
Well, yeah, it was very silly.
That was like, you should have said something.
Yeah. If she literally could have. We could. A lot of things could have been solved if she just spoke up in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But no.
And then besides that, they gave her some jokes that I felt went too far. Kind of like the newest Thor movie. I felt like they took the jokes a little too much. Like, okay, we know we gotta have the comedy, but you know,
right. But that's kind of like unfortunate, since I argue like the Guardians of the Galaxy, when that movie came out and it did very well, you know, all the Marvels just kind of copy that kind of comedy, regardless whatever film it is. So it's kind of I think for worse. It's engraved in there, I guess.
I think it should have comedy, but it's just
too much.
It was just a little too much in that part 4.
Yeah.
And the type of jokes that they were doing with the what should I call her, grandma or mom?
I mean, both.
Yeah.
With her, I feel like they were just a bit off. I'll just say.
I vaguely remember something like that, but I can't remember the details. But I just remember thinking. But it's like I agree. Yes, that is the point, as Miles suggested. But at the same time, there is something sometimes we need to know when to cut yourself off and be like, let's move on to the next scene, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, it gets to its gain. It gets Whedon-esque because it goes
a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, I also wouldn't like it if they had no jokes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a fine balance.
Yeah, and the thing with Ant-Man it's been known for most of the MCU as being the comedy.
Yeah,
one.
The comedy relief, if you will.
You know, it's like, hey, we're doing serious things, but at the same time, we're having fun.
So that was my week.
Busy bee, aren't you, Frank?
And finally, the last but not forgotten, Ray.
So yeah, for me, what can I mean?
Would it be Tears of the Kingdom?
There's Tears of the Kingdom, but I feel like what else can I... So, okay, I guess I'm expanding since we're an anime video game podcast here, I guess I'm going to expand our horizons a little bit here and talk about a little bit, apparently, about the best movie of last year with Everything, what is it? Everything or Nothing or Everything All at Once. What's the name of this movie, Frank? You talked about this before on the podcast.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
There you go. That's the movie.
You watched it?
I finally watched it with Miles. It's okay.
That's my thoughts.
It's very okay. I'm very confused why this movie got everyone foaming at the mouth and screaming at the rooftop, "It's the best movie of the year!" And I'm thinking, well, this is just half this movie is just the goddamn Matrix. I've seen this movie. It was 20 years ago.
I think what I remember, it was it didn't know what it wanted to be, because I felt like, okay, are we serious? Are we
right? Are we doing a comedy bit?
And then what's gonna be the plot? And I just didn't like all the sexual jokes that they had.
The jokes.
I thought those were like, I felt like it was like a little kid, like, what if we add a dildo here? I'm like,
oh right, there. Yeah, I guess there was that one sequence.
But it didn't last long enough to really bother me, really. But I am surprised everyone's okay with that.
Well, I just laughed because like someone played Saints Row. That was my reaction to that sequence.
And then like the big reveal with the black bagel was not cool enough, or like it was just like, eh.
Yeah, it was just it's like I don't want to be that guy that hates on things, but I tend to be the guy who hates on things on this podcast. And I just thought it was very And like, so you were just finished high school and you've never read a comic book and you've never seen any cult classic movies. So I guess this is a reason why to like this movie. But I felt like it was very much.
It was very average.
It was very average, and we've done this all before, and I would argue maybe better in previous movies and other comic books and video games, because it's very much, this thing stands on upon the shoulders of so many other stories and media that it kind of makes me a little bit mad and grumpy that this somehow movie got all the rewards and respect that it just stole from other people's works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I watched it because, of what I was hearing.
Right.
And I even told my brother, let's watch. It's going to be good.
Right, it's going to be great.
And then I watched it alone. And then I told my brother, well, I'm kind of glad you didn't watch it with me.
Yeah,
you're not missing out.
Yeah, I guess I was bummed out because, I had the nice 4K version. I got the nice home theater. So, I had the very cinematic experience that you would get pretty close to theaters, if you ask me. But I just, like you said, Frank, I didn't know are we doing serious? Because it was all over the place. And yeah, I just felt like it kind of it didn't have much focus.
It didn't conclude well.
Yeah, it really
because
didn't.
I also didn't like that lady won the Oscar. I don't feel like she deserved it.
She won an Oscar is my first question. I didn't know that.
And the thing in the movie, it does, like the way me and Ray described it, it's kind of like a better version of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's kind of all over the place, but that's the point.
Right.
And like
or it's supposed to be, I guess.
Or like Ray says, anything could happen. So that was scenario I guess we went to.
I'm not sure about better because I enjoyed Doctor Strange more.
Maybe
they explain things better.
Well, the thing with Doctor Strange, it doesn't go.
Well, yeah. I think the real comparison Miles is trying to make is the fact in that movie they saw so many what if situations really quick. There's no explanation, but in the title called what's it called, the Multiverse of Madness, it implies like, whoa, there's so many worlds, so many infinite possibilities. But really, in that movie, isn't there really 2 or 3 worlds they visit?
Oh, well. Multi is more than one.
that's what it is. Like, boy, the madness part, I guess, is the big.
And obviously, I think it does better. It does explain. Well, I think
it shows more what if situations that are all over the place for better and worse. But that, to me, that is the
concept of the Multiverse of Madness.
Right, the madness part of the title. Right,
well,
if we're comparing those two thoughts.
I'd rather a movie be like
coherent.
Yes, and yes. At the end of the day,
I rather like the negative part of the movie be the poor title choice than actually poor substance.
Yes, I personally did probably like the Doctor Strange movie, but also I like Sam Raimi films, so they're super biased also. But yeah, I did. That was a movie we saw that I remember we talked about on the podcast. And I finally saw it and I went, why? And it makes me go like, what else was nominated? I want to go back and take a peek and watch those movies.
And the guy also won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. And I felt he make that one makes more sense because he did more.
Yeah, he did more, and he was like kind of the more staple figure, which I was kind of confused about because the movie goes like, "Isn't this a crazy revelation?" I go, "Well, shit, yeah, duh." I was kind of confused by that. But the movie's like, "Well, didn't I blow your mind?" I'm like, yeah, if I was 5, sure."
The thing is, it in some ways it does more creative things, but also because it does so many creative things, it kind of loses focus on storytelling sometimes.
I guess it was fine. Like, I just don't think I just disappoints me. If this was the best movie of the year, it must have been a real rough year.
It was overrated.
Yeah, I guess that's my thought on the matter, because like I said, I feel like I've seen this story multiple times before and told better than that time around, but it is what it is. Shocker, breaking news, the Oscars got it wrong again. What? Who would have thought?
Well, see you guys next year, I guess.
Yeah. So there's that. And the other slightly more quicker thing, because I think I'm the only one who's seen this on this podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong, not gentlemen.
You're wrong.
Thank you. I saw the first 2 episodes of Invincible. Has anyone seen and or know what I'm talking about?
I seen things on the internet about it, and that's pretty much it.
I wanted to say you're wrong, but
I can't. Damn it!
That reminds me. I did watch the new Gremlins.
There's a new Gremlins.
Yeah, there's the animated Gremlins.
Oh my god!
On HBO Max.
All right, I'm gonna be nice.
You mean Max?
Oh, sorry.
Frank.
Yeah,
Frank
come on.
Max.
Come on, Frank. We just got the big check. We got to get this right here.
I had to download the new app.
We got to download the new app.
And may or may not have your content on it. Anyway.
Yeah, So I watched a little bit of this one because another one of those shows. I feel like, it's the greatest this and that. I really tried.
What's it on?
This is on Amazon. So this is one of the Amazon Prime shows
Called Invincible?
Invincible. It is based off a comic book. Who I think the main writer, if not sole creator, is one of the guys, if not the guy behind The Walking Dead. Robert something.
Kirkman, right?
That
Robert Kirkman?
Sounds right.
Kirkman?
So
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's animated quotation marks. So it's very superhero based. It's basically like a DC parallel world where, without gaining 100% spoilers, despite the first episode, I guess you could argue is a spoiler question mark at the very end. What if Superman wasn't the best question mark? It's one of those kind of ideas, which is not super original, to be honest. But sure, all right. It is, because I know like there's the other like The Boys, which is a similar one comic book, but that's a live action adaptation out there. But I hear that's also very good. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet. But it's based on that same notion of what if Superman was a douche. So yeah, I don't know. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I think there's like 10 episodes in season 1. I think there's a season 2 coming out this summer. So I guess look forward to it, question mark. But I thought it was an interesting story that I just kind of wanted to read the comic book than watch the cartoon or the animated series. Because
well, it felt like the animation just didn't justify the story.
Let's put it this way: I don't know who made it. I'm assuming it wasn't done by Madhouse
JC Staff?
or Bones or someone from Japan.
JC Staff?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe JC Staff. It was kind of rough looking. I know I can be a bit of an anime snob. This is true.
You mean animation?
But I like to, yes, But I try not to think I am. And I remember the animated Batman series and other things of that ilk that weren't, the latest and greatest, hottest things from Japan. But yikes, sometimes this thing was kind of ugly, where literally animation cuts did not match up what was happening on screen. So it was like, story-wise, I was interested in, but animation-wise, I was like kind of checked out. It was very rough. It had the keyframes, but no in-betweens, no smooth animation between A and B, and it was very kind of jarring. But the core concept is interesting, and I almost guarantee everyone watching this, there is some B-tier actor you forgot about who voices a character in this show, so it's kind of interesting. Frank could appreciate the bad guy from Heroes shows up as a character in the show. If you remember Heroes, don't you, Frank?
What was his name?
I mean, forget the name of the bad guy.
That guy.
Skylar Snyder or something like that?
Something like that. Something with an S. The TikTok man, if we will. It's like getting to spoilers. But anyway, he shows up and a bunch of other voices and people you might recognize from other TV shows and other animations. So that was bloody fucking J. Jonah Jameson is the evil Superman in this version if I need to help sell this pitch. But I will help sell that. Turns out, he still can do what he does pretty well. Those who like Portal 2, enjoy.
This is so what's that guy's name? The doctor.
What was it?
I
had it and it fell right on my head.
Lyndon Johnson. No, that's
no,
the
it's the president, your favorite, but something like that. Anyway, it's an interesting concept. I hope the animation gets better. That's my notion on the first 2 episodes of that series. And then the last thing, the worst thing talking about the most of my week is Tears of the Kingdom. So without getting into spoilers because of listeners, and I know Miles has not tackled it just yet. So I have done probably around 75 shrines. So it's a little bit, I guess, more than half, I suppose. It's 120, I think that's the number. And I've been spending most of my time on the west side of the map. So I have done those 2 main story beats for those who've played the game without, once again, trying to avoid spoilers. On the first one, I was very, and I talked about it in the last episode, I was very kind of concerned. Like, I liked the boss fight, but leading up to the boss fight, I was kind of very lukewarm about. But the second one was quite enjoyable and was more what I was looking for in my Zelda game. So I did feel like a bit of a redemption, I guess. So I was very happy about that. Hopefully there's more happening of that on the East Coast, which I'm slowly getting there. So I've done everything on the map before unlocking the map, like Assassin's Creed style, if you will, going to the towers. All that's left is I think the Zora domain and the area next to the Zoras. So I haven't gone there just yet. I just hit up the mountain of the Gorons, and apparently everyone's got the munchies. That's all I know. But how and why, what's happened, I haven't got that far just yet. I just, like I said, last night I got there and I went, oh, okay, well, this is different from Breath of the Wild. Let's see how we can fix this problem, question mark. So yeah, I was doing that. I did spend a lot of time recently in the depths. For those who know about it, I won't once again can't drink too much because of Miles here. But at first I was kind of interested in the depths, but I slowly found myself getting less interested. How do you feel about the depths, Frank?
It wasn't that deep.
Right? It was, there it writes itself. How do you feel, Frank?
I like it.
Yeah?
I think it's a little scary because I somehow always happen to be there at 3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe I didn't notice it at first, but I think when you go there, do you hear a loud noise? Like a horn? Like,
I want to say yes.
Because I feel like that wasn't there in the beginning and now it's showing up. So I'm wondering if that's a hint to something. Yeah, I think it's scary. I think I'm doing it wrong. Because my cousin, he's like, yeah, I have a vehicle. And I'm like, you have a vehicle? What the hell?
I was going to get to that point too as well.
Oh, yes, the nuts and bolts of
Tears of the Kingdom.
And I'm like, I'm just walking and I'm throwing candles in front of me.
Pretty much, just chucking them
and
blooms or what are they called?
Keep freaking running into walls and gigantic monsters. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be here.
Did you find the outfit that will help you, Frank?
Yes, I have the full set.
Okay, yeah, so did I, which I feel like as soon as I found that, it's become a little too easy for me, perhaps.
I feel like as soon as I found it, I don't need it anymore because I lit up a lot.
You're already running around. It also doesn't help, and I won't say this.
It's scary. It's ugly.
It is, like, I did like that part. I did early on. I was like, oh, it's spooky now.
I mean the outfit's ugly.
Oh, there's that too. That also applies to that. But I did like early on because it's like, oh, it's literally pitch black. You can't see nothing. You got to throw things everywhere just to even have an idea what you're at. But once you realize the somewhat secret, which I won't say out loud, it kind of ruined it for me. So it became less of a mystery when I could just boop, bop, and be like, oh, I know where to go. Sadly, I caught on, and I went,
I got it.
And it kind of ruined
like you guess how the map was going to be laid out?
Let me guess.
Not so...
I understood that reference.
Exactly. I saw this. I used my superpowers to read what the developers had in mind. Perhaps it was just more of I couldn't help but notice certain things are similar on other things without once again getting into details.
So you noticed the pattern. And you're like, oh,
I noticed the pattern, and then I turned out my pattern was correct, and it makes the deaths less mysterious. Is the way I will describe it without once getting into details.
Oh, okay. Now I might know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it after.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Let
me write it down.
Wait.
Write it down. Spoiler warning coming for after the podcast. For those listening, you're good. Still good to go. We're not at the spoiler Tears of the Kingdom episode just yet. But yeah, so the devs, I was like very into it, and then I got kind of a little cold off of it. But I'm still interested in it now that I kind of hit a certain wall, I guess we could say. So it's I'm not totally like done with it, but it's like I was gonna say it's my least interesting part, but that's a lie. My least interesting part is, I would argue, the skies. I don't know how you feel about that part, Frank.
Oh, is again another one.
Skyward Sword. Here we go again. And I thought the same thing. I find myself never being up there.
In Skyward Sword, I was there more because I had a limited flight,
true.
And now I'm not interested in looking because I'm like I'm not gonna build a ship, and even if I do build a ship, it's just not gonna have that much energy, so I can't explore too much. So yeah, I don't mind it. I just, and maybe it does exist, but I wish they had a way of me knowing if I explored everything. So to give an example, in Wind Waker, you could get this thing where it checks off each map is like, you got the treasure here, so you don't have to go there no more. And then this one is like, I'm not sure if I've been here.
Right, that's also a thing.
And yeah, so I don't want to. I mean, I could say stuff, but I guess it might be spoilers. So.
Sure.
Do I need to press it again?
Yeah. I think it's out of the 3 regions, if you will, I find myself never up there for whatever reason, good or bad, or whatever may be the case. And
well, you already went up there once, I think.
Yeah. Well, you start the game off there, right? But the fact is, I don't find as much to explore up there as I get. My initial thought was like, oh wow, because as Miles was suggesting, my first thought was like, oh wow, this is like if Skyward Sword was good, and then the game keeps going. I'm like, oh, this is just Skyward Sword.
Wow, we're back.
When it comes to the Sky Island,
I think it's
stuff.
hard to explore, and that's the least part I like about it. And maybe I'm doing something wrong. But,
Could be, right?
Yeah, I like the deaths more.
Yeah, definitely. I do like that more.
I have theories. I don't know if I'm right, and I don't really want to say them because
too early.
I don't know. I just like I could tell you, but I don't know if Miles minds.
I mind.
He minds.
Oh, I just
like the Gorons.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just like things that I think might happen and hope happen. So we'll see. I was hoping to beat it by now so that I can talk about it fully and because right now I have, you know, if certain things happen, I'll feel one way. If certain other things happen,
right.
So I'm still pending my opinion.
I see. I'm at the big positive. I feel like because I know me and Frank it was just me and Frank last time. We talked a lot about what we were hoping, expectations for this game to improve upon from Breath of the Wild, if you will, since it's basically a sequel. And the one thing I'm surprised about is I actually do find the story elements to be more fascinating and interesting this time around, which I'm surprised. And it makes me go like, did I just hate Breath of the Wild for no good reason? Or did Tears of the Kingdom somehow improve the story elements significantly? Because I remember in Breath of the Wild, they had the similar thing where you would find your memories and retrace stuff, but like I would just fall asleep during those cutscenes. Well, I find myself in Tears of the Kingdom like, oh, actually tell me what does happen. I'm curious to know what happened. But then the problem is I solved, once again, trying to avoid spoilers. I did all the main story beats and I couldn't help but notice we're leaving out some omissions of storytelling, perhaps, that I will wonder if we will get to towards the ending, which I hope we do.
Those tiers are side quests, right?
Yes, they're technically side quests, technically.
So I'm like, if you just do the main story, I feel like you don't get
the
main bulk of the story.
Yeah, basically, which I guess that's what some people did with Breath of the Wild. They just went straight for Ganon's castle, right, or whatever they called it.
No, but even in the original one, if you just do all the memories, you're still like, feel like I'm missing a lot.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And in this one, I don't feel that's the case.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, from that I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I think would have been better, now that I think about it? If those memories, you got to live them by playing the game.
That would help, perhaps.
Because, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not playing the game, I'm playing...
just watching the story.
Yeah.
But
I'm a little bit afraid that I've already seen most of
the story. Yeah. I also feel the same way.
So if that's, I mean, it's not gonna be like, oh, I hate this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not, but it's, I guess, a little disappointing.
Well, to me, I feel like when
but also I kind of saw it coming as once.
Obviously, I haven't played the game before, but I've seen trailers and stuff like that. I felt like this is just like another game, but it's DLC. It's a DLC game, but got way out of hand. So now we're making it our own, though.
I mean,
they said it was that.
Yeah, that's true. But I honestly, here's the difference: is I think they do just enough to justify it. Because between me actually giving a shit about the story for once, which didn't ever happen in Breath of the Wild, I do like the power abilities.
There's no story in Breath of the Wild.
The power abilities I find more interesting in Tears of the Kingdom than I never mess with the power abilities in Breath of the Wild. I never did. I don't know if it's just me, but whatnot. But I never did.
You mean like the stop time
and change momentum, and I just threw bombs and like that was it. I did the bare minimum. I never played with that shit. Never did. Well, here this game kind of more entices you and better entices you to do the, Minecrafting, build your own mecha and build your raft and your vehicles. But but to be honest, I really don't play with that stuff, but I'm more interested to play with those mechanics than I ever was to play with the mechanics from Breath of the Wild. Whatever that means. We're talking percentage points here, but...
Well, talking about that, it's fine. I don't mess with it too much. Right. I have to do something. I'm like, I gotta get there. I wonder what I could build to do that.
Right.
But I guess another thing that I miss is getting rewards for doing the dungeons.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna get the whip in this dungeon.
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
get
The
the
new
bow.
one.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
get this. And in this one, it's kind of like before you even start all the dungeons, you already have all you're gonna need to do everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's a little. I guess it takes the excitement of doing the dungeon. I'm like, ooh, I wonder what I'm gonna get.
Right, what's the new? Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that, but yeah, that was the formula that was kind of.
I'm like another heart.
Satisfying.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
but it's been kind of like direct out numerous.
Right, but it's the same thing. Breath of the Wild, it's
Let's
the
say, but
issue, problem, whatever you want to call
it's
it.
like I want to do something different than that. And,
Which is it's fine, but I guess it's here and what's I don't know because I mentioned before I've done the West Coast for those who've played the game, and I've acquired the 2 abilities from that side of the map. And to me, they're really good abilities and game changers, I would argue. And my mindset for going that way was half of it was coincidence and half of it was, I guess, according. My brain thought, well, what were the best abilities in Breath of the Wild? I bet you it's probably the same in this game, ? And so far, I've been correct. But like I said, I haven't gone to the Goron and I haven't been to the Zoras. So maybe it'll change. But I'm very happy with my decision making so far when it comes to the big main missions of Tears of the Kingdom. But I'm trying to think that those are most of the key points I wanted to talk about this week. It's still overall a great game. I'm having a lot of fun. It's been spending a lot of time. My last complaint, I'll finally get off the microphone about Tears of the Kingdom. Why is have you done the amiibos, Frank?
yeah.
Why, what the fuck? Why is it so hard to get the goddamn costume of everyone in this goddamn game? You know how long I've been testing I'll show you after the podcast, right? I got every goddamn Link amiibo.
I saw your toys.
And I have yet to complete a goddamn costume over a bloody week of this.
Well, I already have 2. So
Yeah.
and I've only used the amiibos very little.
All right, well, thanks, Frank, for joining this last episode of the podcast. It's nice having you.
Wait.
You lose! Good day, sir!
That's basically what it feels like every time I pull up a Link amiibo.
To make you feel better,
Help me out, Frank. I need something.
I haven't gotten a single costume from the amiibos.
Okay, well, then I feel all right. Then there you go. I feel better. Thank
All
you.
the costumes
That's all I care
I
about.
found during the game. So
Wait, they're in the game?
yeah.
God damn it.
Wow.
Hell.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have to get the amiibos, but if you get them,
You get them quicker, faster,
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were in the game. I assumed it was amiibo thing only.
yeah. So
So no more.
Oh, what's in the box?
That's all I want to know, man.
I could tell you where to get them, but
Gosh darn. I just want my Hero of Time costume, goddammit.
oh, I don't have that one.
That's the only one I want, because that's the one I remember. I must have it with the little boy shorts and the white tights.
Little boy shorts.
That's my Hero of Time, goddammit.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know why it's such a bad pull on that stuff. It's already bad enough it's like a daily gotcha bullshit, but it's like it should be like, hey, if I do this every other day, I should be getting a piece of that costume. But it's like, no, here's the hat, here's the pants, here's the torso. It's rather annoying.
I don't care about it, but my cousin did tell me, he's like, yeah, I just got it all in one day. I changed the time on the Switch.
And yeah, I know you could buy, once again, just Animal Crossing your way to victory. But I don't want to be that guy, but I think I'm going to be that guy next week, goddammit.
Or just find them in the game.
Which I guess is another, I guess just
So
Google.
what
Also, that's another thing, I guess, quick thing. I have not met,
I guess we don't have that here. I was gonna say.
looking
What
for.
am I fighting for?
Sorry, not all the Mega Man memes made it to this time. I can add it for next time if you want. I'm trying to think. I really have avoided the only guides I looked at, but actually haven't really used were like for the elixir stuff, just because I'm too lazy. Like, just give me the best elixir for my situation I'm in. I don't want to deal with all these 2 timers. Just give me the 10-minute timer potion, thank you, please. But like that's about it. I don't know. Have you checked more online, Frank? Or have you been trying to still walk away from that stuff?
Oh, what did I look up? I only looked up one shrine.
Oh, how to solve them?
And yeah, and I already had the idea.
Wait, so
It was just
like
something.
missing
It
a
was
step or
something so
something?
stupid.
I'm surprised I haven't done that yet.
Wow, now he just eats himself now.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow. God damn! How do I get out of here?
With the potions, I don't even. I barely eat apples. I'm like,
Exactly, and it's only when and to me, I only do it. Basically, I do it just so I can pretend I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, so I can have my fast potions all the time, and I can run fast. Gotta go fast.
You know, one thing I kind of I feel like the beginning of the game was really hard, and now it's kind of easy.
Easy K.
But that's due to like whenever you beat the main mission, the ability.
It makes
So I kind of have to like
curious about the other two.
turn them off.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
if you
it's-
want the challenge.
I only turn them on when it's like I'm like
I'm bored.
okay, I'm running out of time here.
Yeah, I gotta go to work soon, so I gotta get here now.
I better not die here. Let me
Yeah.
turn them on.
Man,
Yeah, let me
that's like
go for the assist.
I'll go Super Saiyan only the last second.
I will admit, once again, without no, I had to cut myself because if I say even my hinting is already kind of a spoiler. I will say I love the west coast of that map, particularly the south end of
Are you
the
sure
west.
that's not your West Coast bias there, right?
I know.
You know what I wish you could do with those abilities? I wish you could have them on, but like mute them. Like you know what I mean?
You can turn them off.
No, you can turn them off, but it I like the aesthetics, but I don't like the assist.
Oh, interesting. That's a fair.
Yeah, I like the look, but I don't want the abilities to come with it.
All right.
I want the challenge with with looking cool.
I just want to look cool. So
Yeah.
when people take, oh my god, Link just totally dunked on me, but it was so dope though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet you Lincoln Ball.
especially the that one ability in the north. I feel like I need to have that one on always, but I don't like the other part that comes by having it on. Because they're like, stop
I see.
assisting.
They do help. Better or worse, they do help. And yeah, I do leave them on just.
Let me struggle.
Yeah, there is, like I said, they make things easier for better and worse. Because parts of me, like, I like that it makes it easier, and part of it is like, well, maybe it's like a double-edged sword, I guess you could say. But still, over at the end of the day, I'm having a good time. I've been spending all my free time just playing that. Like I said, I barely squeezed in that movie and 2 episodes of a TV show for the last 2 weeks, but everything else has been Tears of the Kingdom. And if you're curious, like, oh, is it worth my time? Should I spend the money? Yeah, I think it is. If you liked Breath of the Wild, I think it does everything Breath of the Wild does and better. So even if you weren't the biggest Breath of the Wild fan, maybe give this one a shot. It might actually be better. I personally think it is.
I hope so too.
Did you spend any time changing your look?
My numbers went up, but not my colors, if that makes sense. I've seen.
I'm like I change
I know
colors every dungeon.
I know you're a big color guy. We talked about this last episode where you're. What about my looks though? What about my looks?
I gotta look fab before I take this guy
Frank
down.
is always ready for that Instagram. He's always ready for the next Instagram.
Wait, give me a second. Let me get sorry before I kill you right now. Give me
Let
a
me
second.
see. Can you like roll over and die a little for me? I'm about to stab you with the master sword.
No, wait, I'm gonna put it on my gram, okay? Let me give me a sec.
Give me a second. And 3, 2, 1, and now you're dead.
You know, you guys are joking, but but there's been a time where like I beat a boss and I'm like, you know what? Let me turn it off and try it again. This time record.
I didn't do it the way I wanted.
Take two.
Wait,
Here we go.
Wait for the mute.
I took a heart damage. Oh wait, hold on a
I was
second.
looking for more of a blood calling scream. No, don't kill me, no.
The wrong part of the song was playing. I have to do it again.
So you got it on the down beat, with the sword thrust, thrust. You gotta get it just right.
Yeah, now that I'm in the desert, I'm orange. So I've been yellow, red, green, and now I'm orange.
It's like I said, I'm having a good time, and it's interesting to see the difference between the two. But yeah, I guess I'll end it there. It's a good game.
All right, I guess we're done for now for Tears Game. I'll probably come again eventually next time we're here. So I guess we now entered the news segment for a hot second.
Woo.
Yeah, that's some way to say it. So I guess we'll kick it off by talking about the whatever you call the Sony event or the multiplayer Sony event, right?
The Sony showcase? What did they showcase? Is my first question. Spider-Man?
That's pretty much it. I mean, there are a lot of there are a lot of multiplayer. They really want to get to that Fortnite money, huh? Right? They really want the money.
The single player driven story stuff, which has been their Sony's bread and butter, was kind of absent in this showcase, which was a little shocking, to be honest, because this is basically their E3 for the summer. This is everything we got it lined up. And, pretty much if it's for this year, it's like now or nothing, because, you got to do the whole marketing campaign that takes months on end. So yeah, I guess look forward to Spider-Man in the fall because there's nothing else
I have a
first party
question.
wise.
Do you think that it's just the way things are turning, or is it the whole delays that we had from 2020?
Oh, the
are
COVID. I feel like at this point it's hard to make the COVID 2020, whatever you want to phrase it, because I feel like we've done that. For better for worse, the world is rotating all over again. We're all going back to work. We're all doing this and that. Normalcy has returned, question mark, at least for the time being. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, it's okay. You get the pass again this year. I feel like I'm just surprised. I don't know. I didn't expect a lot, but I expected at least one secret game they've been playing close to the chest to be like, and here it is, the new hot Sony first party game.
What game were you hoping for?
I don't anything. Like, I guess the only thing I could think about that was a somewhat known factor was the Last of Us multiplayer game they teased about since the release of Part 2 sold those years ago. But there was nothing like I had like in particular, like, I was hoping for, I don't know.
No? Miles, did you have anything
in particular you're looking
No,
for?
I mean, the problem with the Sony event is it's a lot of like Spider-Man 2 will save our asses, and that's pretty much it. I mean,
a lot of small independent,
a lot like that. Not even that, like,
and not even Sony exclusive games.
There are a lot of games that they're going to be on other platforms, and they spend a lot of time on like Foam Stars and a lot of
the Splatoon
a lot of multiplayer games, because that's what Sony wants.
The live services.
That's what Sony bought most of the studios for last year. They bought them so that way they can make because they want the Fortnite money. They want the guaranteed money hit, and who cares about single player? We'll just we're hoping the PSVR 2 will so like the PSVR 2 and Spider-Man 2 will like survive this year. We'll close over to next year.
Well, I was hoping for a little more on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Yep.
Maybe because there's who knows, because
supposedly this year.
I'm
not holding my breath.
I wanted to see just just little teaser.
An update, something.
And the other thing I was hoping for, or that I keep hoping for, is another Tomb Raider.
Once again, Frank, let me tell you, stop.
Tomb Raider's its
Please
own.
Stop. You're only going to be disappointed.
I mean, that's pretty much.
And I would argue that's probably more of an Xbox title more these days.
Well, what I know about Tomb Raider, I think at this point now it's in Amazon now.
I think Amazon technically owns the rights to that.
So there's that.
Well, that'll be a third party, I guess, because everyone wants. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna. Hey, sign up for Luma. Is that what it's called? Their gaming cloud service thing. I don't know, but yeah. Sadly, Frank, there's no Tomb Raider anywhere in the mix at the moment.
Well. 16's coming out soon. So
that's happening. That still looks good. That's true.
I think more videos are coming out, but I'm trying not to watch anything.
Yeah, that's basically my thought too.
At this point, you go like,
I have no idea when I'll get to.
Where you go like, cool, I'll be there eventually, but I still got 15 just to finish.
Yeah, I still haven't played
Final Fantasy, by the way, just in case.
Yeah, in case. What 16 are they talking about?
So yeah.
Yeah, the only thing was the Spider, which looked good. Don't get me wrong, the Spider-Man 2 looked good. I'm excited to play that.
I'm not gonna get it.
I know. Have you played and enjoyed the first one?
I think I might have platinumed the first one, and I still don't want to play.
And you still really you just done with that universe?
It wasn't.
It was Spider-Man.
Have I talked to you about Spider-Man?
I don't think we have talked about the Spider-Man.
I hate Mary Jane in that game. She is a bad representation.
Oh, right.
She gives girls a bad name.
Okay. I don't remember that.
She just treats them so bad. She treats Peter Parker so bad. And she's just so reckless for no reason.
I don't remember.
Okay, so Peter Parker likes Mary Jane.
This is true? We're going to do warnings every 2 seconds.
I mean, he likes her in every universe.
Right, this is
if you didn't know that. But okay, go ahead. And it's just like she's clearly just using him for, her job. And it's like whenever he wants to ask anything like, hey, do you want to get dinner? And she's like, oh, I don't have time for you. You never noticed that? I
didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, and it's like, and even one time, because she needs a favor from him, and he's like, yeah, come over for dinner. And then like when he goes or something, it's just like all business. And then as soon as it's like, because she invites him, come to my house. And then when when the business is done, she's like, okay, I don't have time.
I don't remember that.
And then she
I never.
I remember the
I
diner sequence.
she
That's all I
calls him
remember.
she calls him on the phone a lot, and then she's like always mad at him, like, dude, he's doing you a favor, like I feel like they broke up just because, you know, she was like, oh, I care more about my career, and then he still loved her, and then she was just like, I'm not ready to settle, and it's just,
And that alone was enough to turn you off from the whole game?
yes,
Oh, wow. That's it. Wow.
she's a horrible person. She's a horrible person.
I barely remember her. You said Mary Jane. I went, she's in the game. That's my recollection of the video game. I barely remember her in the game.
She's terrible, and then the fact that they forced you to use her, I'm like, I don't want to use Mary Jane.
Well, yeah, because you play as her and Miles, technically, I think, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to use him either.
Well, that was both. Well, yeah, both those missions were terrible, but I would argue the Doc Ock puzzle missions were even worse.
I don't know, because I always want to play it, but by the time I play it now,
I like the open world and swinging around New York.
Oh, the gameplay was fabulous. It was great. It's just she bugs me.
I even on my worst days, I feel like people that annoy me never annoy me to
stop a game.
Yeah, stop that much. I can't think of anything, so I'm surprised.
Roll your eyes, maybe like.
I won't say she's amazing, but I didn't find her that offensive either. I guess I'm a little surprised, but so be it. But yeah, either way, the second game, I'm still looking forward to it.
I hope they change her attitude.
Don't worry, she'll get the symbiote suit. She'll change real quick.
Yeah, everyone
Everyone gets a symbiote suit. You get a symbiote suit. You get a symbiote suit.
I do like. Just one hot second about that. I do like the weird. I guess how they show the texture of how the suit is now, or the symbiote suit.
Well, yeah, but it's always been like that.
Yeah, but I guess you can see
the big old lumps. It's alive.
Yeah, like you can see it moving.
Well, that was
around.
the idea.
But that's all I know.
Show that in comic books, I guess.
We'll move on to the next thing. The Marvelous. Yeah, I said it right this time. The Marvelous Showcase, which pretty much just was for me. The story seasons. They're making their story seasons an actual real, not like.
But is it a Wonderful Life?
There you go. And they're making a multiplayer for story seasons down the line.
Online?
No, down the line.
No, but online.
That I don't know.
Oh, because I feel like you need to be online to be a game changer. Local's nice, don't get me wrong.
Oh, and then there's Rune Factory 6. There's that.
There you go. Go work in the mines yet again.
Let's see. Oh, and I guess the hot tech was to talk about the Meta Quest 3, right? 3?
The Oculus,
the
call it.
Oculus.
I refuse.
That is showcase. The Oculus 3 VR headset, which I guess is supposed to be better, question mark?
They say it's this and that and it looks impressive. To me, I think as a person who's dabbled in the VR, I own the first Quest, but I've never upgraded to the second Quest, nor do I have an Index or the HTC and everyone else under this on the Index. But I dabble into it, and I found the Quest to be impressive because the first episode was the PlayStation VR, which was a nice kid's toy, basically, in comparison. But jumping to the Quest, it was more impressive. And if it can deliver a high fidelity video VR and AR experience it promises to be, I think at $500, yes, don't get me wrong, that's expensive, but everyone who's out there who's well versed in the VR space, you have to spend $1,000 to get an Index, which is I think everyone's like favorite high-end premium Cadillac when it comes to that. Even the Oculus Pro was $1,500. I think they dropped down to $1,000 or $1,200 since then. And this headset supposed to have a lot of the capabilities of that headset, but at a cheaper price that makes more sense. And the mixed reality, as I mentioned, with the AR content, not just VR, I think it's interesting because I know we all know the Zuck wants everything to be AR, where you're everywhere you go, you got digital screen like a bad Mission Impossible movie happening in real time. It's interesting, but to me, it's still the hard sell of right now, VR is the scene where everyone could play escapism and they could kind of role play someone else, perhaps, and interact with worlds they normally couldn't have. I think that is still the selling point, and I think will be the selling point for a little bit longer until they figure out a way to make the AR technology as cool and seamless as they wish it to be, where you could go to work. All you have to do is put on your headset, and there you are at work. But at $500, I think that's a good price, and it's literally half the price of the competition. I mean, The next thing is what? The PSVR 2 headset, which is $550 plus a PS5. That's a lot of money to ask. And with the Quest, it's a standalone product that also you can use with your PC. So if you already have a catalog on Steam,
you could buy, if you buy games already, you can use it
right
with the actual
With-
goods. Wow.
The other bonus thing is Oculus is still, I'm still going to call Oculus, I don't care, is still, if you were there on day one, you probably have a decent catalog and you could keep playing those games and with better graphics and fidelity, potentially if the developers support the new hardware. It's for better or for worse, it's Oculus or nothing in my opinion. And so I actually am kind of looking forward to this new headset that's supposed to come out this end of the year. I think they're going to show more in October, September.
Yeah, then they're connected to the event.
Yeah, they have a more event dedicated for that new hardware. But it looks promising. It's small. It's 40% smaller somehow.
I'll let you know what's the Apple one next week.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Apple's got their VR, AR combination.
When their classic rate, if Apple does it, it means everybody.
It becomes mainstream, becomes official with the world.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. That's we'll wait. You guys wait for Monday's news.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess that's all I have. Is anything you want to mention, everyone?
I'm just still thinking about Mary Jane.
She's the worst.
No, it's just like I think I mentioned it before. Spider-Man is like the off superhero story is the part I care most about.
Right.
And they ruined that.
Yeah, but I like how we're moving on to but Mary Jane though, guys, at the end.
I hate that.
I mean, it's still bugging me. Like
the worst.
At night, before he goes to sleep, it's like
Mary Jane. What about Gwen?
Oh, you know what? That would be great if she comes out.
There you go.
If she comes out,
Maybe now she'll have a little bit more respect for what Peter does.
Yeah, and be like, you know what? I better step up my game.
Competition.
She's nice when.
She's so nice to Peter, and she doesn't have to.
Don't go for the.
He doesn't have to break it.
Don't go for the Sundari. Go with the Kuudere instead.
I hear Black Cat's available now. That's what I hear. The word on the street.
Oh man, you know what? Now I have hope for that.
Maybe things will get better. The last note is, hey, that Resident Evil 2 remake on PSVR 2. Hey, that'd probably be all right. Hey, almost makes me want to buy it. Almost.
Again?
I still have to play the copy I still have of the Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm going to get to it soon, I swear.
Yeah,
came out already?
Huh? Yeah, well, it's been out, Frank. It's been out for like months.
Oh, my.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling myself. I'm stare at it.
Like, what? And then Frank looks at his room. What? And they're there and it's like right there, like open, like not even open. It's like wrapped and everything. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's still there. I'm gonna break it. I'll break that wrapper soon. I swear.
All right. I guess that's it for the news. Does anyone any more comments?
No.
I'm out.
I should leave the anger out.
Let it go, Frank. Let it go.
Yeah. Grab it and then let it release.
The cold never bothered you anyway.
Yeah. I've also been probably making the soundboard. Anyway, without further ado, I guess we'll go to our main topic, which I guess was we talk about, I guess, 3 things like old games or manga or I guess properties, I guess, right?
Properties.
Them licensed IPs.
IPs, all right, the money makers, things that I guess they for better or for worse, they never they have a shelf life and it passes time, I guess.
It just didn't get all the shine and love it deserved.
Yeah. Things that could have continued and didn't.
Basically.
Things that were here they're not
in
here
an alternative
anymore.
Universe, in the multiverse of madness.
So because I guess let's kick things off. Actually, let's start with Ray first.
Oh, all right. All right, well, here I'm going to go for the very softball, and hopefully I don't steal something out of Miles, because we talked about this before. My first nomination of things that was just too good. And
things are here to not here.
And that just, it should have had a full 26 episodes at least. It did not. I'm talking about an anime, in case it wasn't obvious. I really wish there was more of Death Parade.
Wow.
Have you seen Death Parade, Frank?
No.
You haven't seen? Okay, well then I can't get too much into it.
Don't worry.
I understood that reference.
Thank you, Miles. Someone has to. So, Death Parade is, I guess I could at least say the basic structure, because it's kind of obvious in episode 1, despite it's a bit of a mystery in the first half of the episode, you're trying to figure out what's happening in the show. So in this anime, it is basically a kind of death game scenario, but not the way as most people probably would interpret a death game scenario, where basically the outcome has already been ended, and it's more about what note do you want to leave on, perhaps, without getting into too much Once again, trying to say it without saying it. Once again, spoilers. But it's a very good show. It's very kind of episodic with a one main plot theme that kind of holds it together, if you will. But I feel like the concept was so interesting and so refreshing, and there was a lot of scenarios they came up with that kept it, like I said, refreshing, interesting to see what would people do, because it was a very character driven story. You didn't know, this is the first time you're introducing these characters, and you're curious to see how would they react in the situation, because in certain episodes people would just become like the worst human beings of all time, do everything evil, poor, and just negative you could think about. And then there were certain episodes where people were just like kind, innocent, thumbs up, people you could vibe with, if you will. And so each episode was kind of different grab bag depending on the characters, if you will, that was in that episodic episode in that time. And yeah, I just think there was a lot of good concept that could have gone farther, but it was only I think it was a 12 or 13 episode series that was based off an OVA, I think is technically how it started. But many moons later, it got a TV show. But I feel like we easily could have done another 12, 13 episodes and make it a full run, if you will. Back in my day, we called it a full run. Because, like I said, the world was interesting, the characters were interesting, the episodic nature was interesting enough to keep it refreshing.
And you could do it for a while.
Yeah. I just think there was lost potential that sadly they kind of... It had an okay ending. It was fine, but it was kind of safe and maybe a little short and abrupt. So I feel like if we ever got like a season 2 where either they, just do like an those last few episodes don't count. This is the real ending over here.
Or to do like most animes are, we noticed that a lot of animes is like, and we're just going to pick off right before that happened.
Yeah, basically do some like DLC, if you will. Yeah. But it's a really good show that I liked a bit, that makes you think on a bigger scope for being an anime, because anime usually it's just like it's shown in fighting sequences and nonsense, but this show is a little bit more in depth than that, and so I would like more shows that make me have to think like that, and that's why there should be more Death Parade. God darn it.
Well, you made me want to watch it, and at the same time, now that you said it's not finished,
it is finished. I want more.
It could have gone for way longer than it was, because the way how
it was like you got the appetizer, but you're like, this could have been a big entree. I want the full size, not this appetizer.
It has a formula that you can easily recommend for like at least a whole season's worth, and they kind of did in like only 12 episodes. But
yeah, Death Parade. If you have not checked out Death Parade, I think I talked about it on our second episode. We talked about our favorite anime openings. Yeah, I mentioned Death Parade.
Because it's Vegas. Anyway,
the Vegas opening. Oh, that's a good opening.
Okay, Frank, your turn.
Oh, okay.
What, me?
It's just I have a list and I feel like I have too many. So I'm like,
gotta choose, Frank. Gotta choose.
Should I do anime or game?
Flip a coin, Frank. Flip a coin.
I don't have a coin. All right. I guess since you said anime, I'll go with an anime.
All right.
They're the obvious ones if you know me, but I'm trying to go something.
Please don't say Hunter x Hunter.
That is on the list.
Oh, God damn it.
But I won't mention it because I think that one's like...
We did it already.
When you're doing the math problem, like, this is the given. Like, okay.
Right, yeah.
So the first one that came out even before Hunter x Hunter was Skip Beat.
Oh, Skippy. Woo!
It's an old anime.
I remember the Skip Beats back in my day.
And this is probably the first anime I watched that I'm like, hey, it didn't finish? Like, what's going on? I remember, it's been a long time since I watched it, but from what I remember, it's about this girl. Don't tell me her name. I mean, don't ask me for her name.
Don't ask me. I'm just telling you what I know. Don't quote me.
MJ.
You know what? She's a redhead, and I don't like her. And I don't like her, so...
All redheads. But Frank, we've established on the podcast you like the tall redheads that can ball. This is true.
But funny thing, this girl in the Skip Beat, she is a redhead. She turned into...
So now we're on like more confirmation of the lore. Got it?
All right, so basically it's about this girl who's has a boyfriend, and he's like an actor / idol. And she finds out that he basically doesn't care about her and is cheating on her. So she kind of vows to have revenge on him and completely changes her look and decides to become like an actor / idol also.
Are you sure it's not Oshinoko?
I don't know what that is. So
soon you will, Frank. Soon you will.
And yeah, so it's kind of, starts off with a revenge plot and kind of turns into a romance. And pretty much that's it. I don't know what happens afterwards. I think it might still be ongoing in the manga. And that's kind of incredible. Now that I think about how long ago it was that I watched this. I just have very fond memories. I thought they did a good job of, comedy and kind of storytelling. And it's kind of interesting that she trying to get revenge on him, but not by like scratching his car off
right.
or, hurting him physically, but by
mentally
outperforming him in the
show him up.
Yeah, so that's I think that's a healthy way to get revenge in case you're wondering how to get revenge. That's pretty much it. It's this. I can't say too much on it because it was so short.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. I was trying to look it up why they stopped making it.
Reasons.
My guess would be one, probably not popular enough. Two,
good chance.
Probably they got too close to the manga.
Also a very good chance.
And then they just forgot about it.
Pretty much.
So that's just one that it's fond in the memories, and I wish there was more.
There you go. I can
All
see
right.
it.
All right, so here's my turn. All right. Speaking about Sony, right?
Idol Master.
No,
and
first of all, I'm still alive. Thank you very much.
And
But
the
the
opening
one-
was good, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
But then because every time I think Sony, it reminds me of a certain franchise that still hasn't come back yet. Ape Escape.
You junkie.
So, because for some reason we still get no one.
Episode 1 again, folks. Here we go.
So Ape Escape, right? Ape Escape. You're time traveling, shock, and you're trying to catch monkeys.
Sounds about right.
Why is it so hard for Sony to just make another one? I mean,
because they sell so many copies. That's why, Miles. They're tired of all the money.
But talk about as like original PlayStation. That's still the DualShock controller back in the day, right? So we can't figure out to do this again.
But what about the DualSense? Where's the sense? Does it make any monkey sense?
Granted, I do like Astrobot. And that little game.
That was good.
But I feel like everything's like one like the OG. It's like next to Crash Bandicoot, right? Crash Bandicoot's owned by someone else now.
That's the funny thing is, who owns that now?
Yeah, I think Pop for toys.
Well, they make it, but anyway.
But but like you can't it's such especially if Sony's supposed to try and make like the multiplayer stuff work, right? You can easily money just like nostalgia. Hey, just remake Ape Escape 1. I did tell you Ape Escape 1 is now part of that
Plus service or super tier service.
Yeah, but I don't want to play it for nostalgia. Why just remake? You easily remake it for today's audience with the DualSense. Make money. Why don't we do that? I'm done.
Now that we did, why couldn't even hold it to a second pick to go for the cliche? Can't help yourself, can you?
Hey,
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Yeah, all right. Not for much longer. Not for just for this episode, Miles. Don't get too greedy with that soundboard.
I mean, it makes sense because he's talked about it.
It's true. He's championing for it. Give him credit. At least he's going for it. He's swinging for the fences. Folks.
I was trying to not mention things I talk about too much.
Final Fantasy.
I know.
If there was more Final Fantasy.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I did think about
Hunter.
Not enough Hunter in our lives.
I did think about putting Final Fantasy.
But just not enough.
But still here.
It's only the first remake of 7. It could be more remakes.
Well, it's because I can't play it anymore. Personally, it's unavailable to me.
I have. Don't worry, Frank. I have methods.
Yeah.
We know how to fix that real quick.
But I guess that's my first fix. I guess
so it's not my turn.
I guess it's back
All
to you.
right, I was waiting to get the official pass here before I just steal it, but I guess I'll do that both. So I guess if we're doing I'm gonna do the most on the nose thing of all time. So apparently that's where we're at right at this point in time. Sticking with anime for one more pick. I know technically we've gotten other adaptations of the thing we all love and enjoy, and is one of the most influential things of all time, of all medias around the world. Why can't I get a decent adaptation of Berserk? That's all I want in life. Just want a decent adaptation that matches the 97 or 98 adaptation that existed a long time ago with the what are they called? The Golden Age arc. I would like more of what happens afterwards and the the evil phantom guy who isn't Ganondorf apparently. All this stuff that I just wanted, been coming for, and we've been waiting for decades and decades and decades, and what we get is another CG fest of the Golden Arc Age again, and a uglier CG adaptation of actually the sequel that I would argue people have been wanting more, and even that didn't last very long on top of it, nor got very far into the greater lore of Berserk. And now that sadly when Mura has passed away, it's been the last year or two now, I feel like, how can we let one of the, like I said, one of the most legendary works of art just go to the wayside and not get a proper anime adaptation is beyond mean. Despite like we keep getting every shonen,
I feel like
we're
waiting for like an anniversary or something like that. And here we're doing this. I think it's kind of like Fruits Basket or something. Like I feel like eventually we're gonna get there, right? Because the man's work, right? Like everyone knows Berserk is.
Yeah, and that's what it's. And don't get me wrong, it's not an easy job because the manga is and I don't say that easily. I know it sounds like it's easy to say, but I don't say that lightly. Coming from me, the guy who hates everything, Berserk is a masterpiece, and it's a hard thing to recreate, especially just in the art format alone, little animated all on the big screen, if you will. But it's just one of those stories, those series, those characters are so good, so interesting. Like I said, it's one of the most influential things of all time, and for it to just go quietly for one adaptation from over 20 years ago is crazy to me. And sadly, like I said, we're never really going to get, a lot of fans would feel, including me probably, a true ending to Berserk. I feel like we should at least get as close as we can to making this series as more popular and give it the respect it deserves, because I feel like it's just too good of a show, too good of a story, just to let it die in 1997. We can do more.
Maybe I should have watched this instead of Slam Dunk.
That probably would have been the better. It's shorter, at least, Frank. It's definitely shorter.
That's why I'm thinking I should have.
I'll hook you up, Frank. I'll hook you up. I know a guy.
Who knows a guy?
Me.
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to watch. Because I keep hearing about it and I'm tired of not knowing what's going on.
So good.
All I know is I've seen panels of that guy like, and this is our protagonist.
This is a good guy.
Got screaming out with like a sword and things like that. Looking, not a villain, but I mean, like you put a line of villains, right? Go like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he looks like one here.
Yeah, it's
wait, he's the protagonist. What?
A lot of feelings going on in Berserk.
It's sad that the guy died.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like now you're never gonna get the ending.
Basically.
And that really sucks. Like, oh man, thinking about
Hunter.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully not. Despite all the shit I give Hunter, I don't want people to be bummed out by Hunter.
Or Ippo, like.
Oh yeah, Ippo. That's another big one. It's just it keeps going, and you're like, oh my god, I love it, but please, maybe.
It's kind of like in Japan, they like working themselves to death.
Mm-hmm. It's almost that's the mentality of the culture.
I wish they just like wrote it down, like, hey, in case I pass, this is what needs to happen.
Right, and that's what they've been trying to do with Berserk, but it's.
I mean, people over here.
Everyone feels different about it.
Everyone at Game of Thrones going like,
this is your German. Whatever. The check didn't bounce. Sure.
More Elden Ring, yes. I'll do more Elden Ring, yes.
You can put my name on that.
It's not ready yet. It's not cooked. It's still raw. I need more time to cook.
I'm the king of the north now.
How many are we doing? Because there's like 3 that I want.
Let's do 3, Frank.
3.
Let's say 3.
Damn.
We could do honorable. If in your last turn, you could do a quick honorable mention, Frank. But it has to be quick.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm next.
Big choices.
I like and it says like, and I got
You had to think about it. It's got the Sherlock Holmes with all the numbers passing. He's feeling it. He's still guessing. He's looking at the pattern.
I'm pretty sure you guys don't have this one on your list.
Probably not.
I would be surprised if you do.
Final Fantasy.
No, those
Tactics.
No.
Different.
Although, damn.
Persona.
No. Well, you want to keep trying?
I'm almost tempted to, but I'll stop.
Please stop.
All right. So this one's a game. It's a mobile game.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
And this game I will play a lot when I first started working at my job. And I think you might have heard of it. It's called... No, that's not called that. It's called Terra Battle. Terra Battle.
Terra...
I think it was like...
vaguely sounds familiar.
I was when like the... the Square Enix ones, right?
It sounds like a Square Enix game.
I don't know.
Or no, not Mistwalker.
Yes.
Mistwalker.
Mistwalker was like I think some old veterans of Final Fantasy. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, the old.
No, the trio, right? No, the designer, the music guy.
What's his name? Yamaguchi. Is that it?
Yeah, Yamaguchi, and I know because that's
the old Final Fantasy heads.
Yeah.
And that's why I got interested in it because I'm like, oh, it's made for. I like Final Fantasy. Let's try this out.
So half credit for me.
So break some match and put Final Fantasy in the list no matter what.
The good things about this game was the character art was nice. The music was nice because it's that famous guy.
Right.
And the gameplay was really fun. Basically, it was a card game, but kind of like more like checkers / chess. So you have your characters, usually 6, and they're the monster characters, and they're all on this grid. And in order to eliminate the bad guys, you have to put a card or character on each side, and you can flank them.
Oh, okay.
So and the damage would depend on the stats of your characters, and sometimes they'll have different skills, and they would expand and all that. So if you were flanking one monster, you just hit that monster. But if you got them all in a line, then you could attack them all at the same time. And then based on where your other cards are at, they could join in on the attack. So it kind of gave it a
it sounded like that kind of tactics kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of thinking to be done, and summoning wasn't too like painful. Like now I feel like they got really stingy. The story was not like amazing, but I was interested enough to keep reading it and stuff. And it was just something that I would play like on my breaks, or sometimes not on my breaks. It was really fun.
Little breaks.
It was a very well done game. I remember going to Anime Expo when they were announcing part 2, and they gave me a shirt, and part 2 sucked, but
the shirt was nice though. Thank you for the shirt though. You suck, but the shirt was nice.
I still have it.
It's in the rafters.
Yeah, the in part 2, that main girl looks like the main girl from Bravely Default and also Octopath Traveler. So I feel like whoever's making these games has a type.
They know what they like.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a really good game. I feel like Terra Battle Part 2 kind of ruined them, and kind of like, oh, we bled too much money, now we can't afford either one. That's my imagination, but I could be wrong.
Right.
But it's just really sad that I felt it was so good, and all these other crappy mobile games are still alive, and like, why
do these survive?
Yeah, so
it's because they they do best make sure people click on certain things.
Love the Fortnite Franks.
Anyways, that one died, and I was actually pretty sad about it. I still have it on my phone.
I'm keeping it alive.
As a memorial, as like a live memorial on your phone.
Yeah, today I tapped on them like maybe
today. Today's the day.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
Maybe tomorrow, Frank. Maybe tomorrow.
So that was my second pick.
All right, Frank. That makes sense. That's interesting. It's like deeper cut, but not too far off from the clock, I suppose.
Let's see. I guess for me, another pick that I guess died in the Wii technically. Zack and Wiki.
I knew it.
Dead or Alive. Oh.
No,
I
don't know if it's.
No, wait, that was the Xbox.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you. What was it?
Zack and Wiki.
Oh.
The pirate with the monkey.
It was a gimmicky game on the Wii. So basically, you use the Wii controls to do. You use
an interesting, slightly fun game.
You use motions and things like that to do puzzles in that game. But
it had a cool anime art style.
But basically, you're looking for treasure. You have a little monkey guy.
It was not too far off from Legends or aesthetic-wise.
Barbados treasure, I think, if I remember correctly. But the neat thing was that it used the controller in certain ways to solve puzzles, to do certain motions.
Right, with the Wii remote.
And then they also Square Enix, which was it what before gotcha, things like that.
That was Capcom.
Was it? Oh, was it Capcom?
That's Capcom. I put money on it's Capcom. That's why I mentioned Mega Man Legends.
Oh yeah, I guess that. No, that makes sense. But at the end of me is obviously you can't probably do now because you do Joy-Con.
Well, you want to do Joy? Hey, huh?
And well, the Switch itself has its own issues, but it's a game I have fun with. Like it was like one that going like, hey, this is to test out the Wii ability, right? The motion control,
the gimmicks at the time.
And it's like I'm having fun with this, and also it's some of the puzzles were like a little. It wasn't just simple as doing a motion. It had to kind of think about like, well, I have to do this. Time it so that way I do this motion and do that motion for the puzzle to work the way I want it to work. Because if you didn't do it wrong, it did have a terrible loading time.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So like if you mess up and you want to reload, it takes a hot second.
The Wii was not fast. You think it'd be faster with two GameCube stuff together?
Yeah, so sorry. But yeah, no, I guess I just want to say is like if you ever retro shop, I guess give it.
Yeah, if you go down to your local retro shop and pick up a copy of Zack and Wiki, it's not the worst choice you've made that day, probably.
Yeah, just maybe someday. Well, Capcom maybe go there.
Good luck.
I mean, I got Battle Network, right? So it's like
that's true.
I mean no. It's like the Duke Nukem thing, right?
Anything's possible.
Now we live in a world which Duke Nukem.
And how did that work out for us, Miles?
Not that great, but the fact, right, that it came out unlocked the ability for everyone else to come out.
Yay! At what cost? What cost?
Well,
I don't like this monkey paw at all.
But the choices we make, right? The choices we must do what we must for the greater good. I guess we go to Ray's last pick. I guess.
Here's the thing. So it's a big thing, anime, video games. We can do a lot of things. I'm gonna slightly cheat and then actually pick something. My cheat answer is almost anything off the goddamn Sega Dreamcast.
What? No.
So the Sega, I mentioned before, I'm a big Sega head and blah blah blah. Dreamcast is the last great video game console in my opinion, for sure. But there were so many great games that appeared on the Dreamcast that just happened to also be first party from Sega. That we never got a sequel. Sonic Adventure 3, where's that at? Seaman, where's that at?
Is that the one with the fish in the tank and he has a human face?
The big old weirdo.
I was thinking about that.
Exactly. There's a bunch of weird. Crazy...
Why do I like that game? I don't know.
It's a weird
Sonic Shuffle.
Phantasy Star Online, a real fantasy, not the MMO nonsense we kind of have now, which is I guess better than nothing, but. I would like a more traditional fantasy. Well, I go for an old school Phantasy Star from like the Genesis days, but I'll settle for an online too. Code Veronica.
Wasn't that on the Dreamcast?
Well, actually, yeah, okay, remake of
X.
I would argue yes, Code Veronica needs a remake more than 4, but I still will play Resident Evil 4 too as well.
That being said,
that would also now that you mentioned that would also qualify. So there's a lot of things off the Dreamcast I could just name. That would qualify. But it looks like Jet Set Radio. But it looks like, if rumors to be true, we might actually get a couple of these Sega games.
Hey, but right now, Samba de Amigos coming back.
Supposedly other things are coming back. We'll see what happens.
See, but the Monkey Pod, though, right? The Monkey Pod, what do we get in return?
I mean, if that's the price it takes to give me some of these Genesis games, let it. So if Duke Nukem has to exist for these to exist, then I'm willing to live in this world to make this happen. But the one game that if I had to pick a game that still baffles me to this day is not a first-party Sega game, as you might think it could be, as a Sega head I am. But it is a Capcom property. And I'm asking everyone out there...
Oh, no. Wait, I think I have a good idea what it is.
Where's my Power Stone 3?
There it is.
I would love me some goddamn Power Stone.
My problem is Ray, Street Fighter exists.
But it's not Street. Don't get me wrong. Street Fighter 6 just came out. It looks amazing. Hear nothing but good things. I personally
look forward to reviewing next.
Next episode, perhaps we'll get a chance to talk about it. If somehow money happens, I will be tempted. It looks very good. I'm very excited, and it's great. It's stellar. We got the new Mortal Kombat, supposedly new Tekken, also potentially. It's a great year for fighting fans. But those are more traditional 2D fighting games. Power Stone was not a traditional 2D fighting game. It was more of a melee, Smash Brothers nonsense. Mashing buttons, pushing friends, chucking everything you could on the stage at
chucking your friends, even.
Throwing flamethrowers, bazookas, and everything else. Flying machines to eat on the ground unless you got an umbrella. All this wacky, zany, over-the-top party fighting game that made you go Super Saiyan if you collected 3 magical stones. This is the nonsense that I loved and craved. It
had its own anime.
Yeah.
Which we own.
I have the DVDs to prove it. But it was a great party fighting game. It was closer to a Smash Brothers, a Mario Kart, where just hey, if you got lucky, there was some strategy, but there was only so much strategy that could carry the day. It was just random and luck where the stone fell, what item fell, what level you're on. If you hit the opponent at the last second before the timer ran out, it was a lot of just pure chance and luck. It seemed like, and I liked that aspect and made it more interesting and distinguished from other fighting games. It was kind of more arena fighting, which is funny because arena fighters still exist, but they're all like terrible anime arena fighters. But there's no like multiplayer, 4-player action, crazy madness that was Power Stone, and I sure would like a new Power Stone. And the last Power Stone was, I think, the PSP copy of 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, I guess that technically will be the last.
That
one.
was the last entry, and I'm still surprised it's been 20 years.
Well, there's the PSP, right, Ray? It's been.
Yeah, probably 15 years if you're including the PSP release. So it's been long due for a new Power Stone, and Capcom, I'm asking you, get your act together. You've done your Street Fighter. Now focus on the important things.
Like Mega Man number what, 13 now? 12?
I'll take Legends 3 before that.
Well, we can't pull Miracles.
And then a Mega Man X, and then we could do Mega Man if you want.
And maybe I'll negotiate it down.
There you go. We'll figure it out. I'll talk it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've played Power Stone, but I had another game in mind because I was looking, I'm like, wait, is
it the game I'm talking about?
Yeah, because I thought there was this game that kind of sounds like the one you were talking about, but it had like Final Fantasy characters for some reason.
Oh,
Decia
on the PSP?
No, it can't be on the PSP because I was playing it like on
Vita,
Dreamcast or something.
Final Fantasy characters on the Dreamcast,
or maybe it was PlayStation. I don't know.
Oh, what, Energies?
That thing?
No, that goofy one that had a cloud. It was like a.
Oh, it wasn't called like a playable character.
Yeah,
something.
it was like a cat. It was a Square Enix fighting game.
Yeah, Cloud was a playable character.
Yes, Energy.
I vaguely remember something like this. I'm thinking, what's Cloud doing here?
I think it had like a story mode, but I don't know. But yeah, that game, I do want to play Power Stone.
It's a great game. I have the main still. Dreamcast still works.
It's a good pick.
And it's a deep cut, but I love it. Dreamcast Sega Classic. I gotta bring up my Sega games. Legally I have to. My lawyers told me I have to. All right, Frank. I think it's your time. If you want to do your honorable mention, we could zoom past that and then let's go for the final pick.
Okay, that's a good idea.
That way you don't feel left out. Since you've done the extra credit for this week, Frank. Let's let you at least give it the nod and the wink so people can check it out.
You just mentioned one of them that I want. Mega Man Legends. Was one that I was like, oh, should I talk about?
Oh, I didn't know you're a big Mega Man Legends guy.
Yeah, I think I like Mega Man Legends more than regular Mega Man.
Okay, well then that was nice having you, Frank.
I think I don't know. Mega Man Legends is like, what if Mega Man combined with One Piece?
I could kind of see that, despite I don't know a lot about One Piece, but yeah,
because there's so much water in that game.
That's true. A lot of pirates. That's true. A lot of pirates. This is true.
Good looking for that.
And all the pirates are good, but yet not. They're bad, but good people.
Hunting for treasure.
I can kind of okay, it's clicking. Things are making sense to me now.
So that's the last game. Oh, I mean, that's one of the games that I wanted to mention. Another, of course, Hunter x Hunter. I want that to continue. Ippo, I want that to continue. I have no idea why they don't
continue. The anime, we're waiting, Frank. We're waiting.
Well, raise ranks that way you can watch the other.
If there's a new season, that means I can watch I can miss the season.
That's been I forgot there's a new Keon manga that I read, but that's all different altogether.
And Soul Eater, I wish they made more Soul Eater.
That's surprising.
And the last anime is Kaiji. I wish they made more of Kaiji.
Oh, Kaiji, the famous Kaiji. I should really watch this thing.
You know what? I just found out it's on Crunchyroll, so I'm gonna.
Oh, there you go, binge watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it today. But the last is a game. It's a online game. They canceled it. I don't know why. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Trickster. I think it's called Trickster Online.
I played Persona 5.
Is that a yes or no?
No, I'm not familiar with this game, Frank.
So it kind of plays a little bit like Ragnarok. If you were
Going with Thor?
No. Miles, do you know what the game is? This?
Fortunately, I
is this a Maple story?
It's around those those times were
those times.
Many moons ago, I see.
Yeah, I couldn't say Maple Story because that one's still going. Okay, so basically Trickster is like it's an online multiplayer game, whatever. And the traditional, like you have the warrior mage, you have warrior mage and like the ranger, but he's not really a ranger. He's they call him a scientist, and he had a shotgun instead.
Interesting scientist.
Yeah, so you had a male and a female version of each like class. So the for example the male warrior was like bull, and the female warrior was the bunny with boxing gloves.
Okay.
And so yeah, it was like that. Like the male scientist, the male was a scientist.
I found it. It's an MMORPG back in I guess the early like 2000s.
It sounds like it has to be.
Yeah. So it plays like Ragnarok. So basically, it's like a 2D map, and you can move up, left, or right, kind of like think the original Zelda, where you know.
Oh, okay. Over.
And then, but to move, you have to click on the screen. That's how you move. And to use your skills, you use your keyboard. And so yeah, it was just really fun. I thought the character arc was very nice. The sceneries were cool.
It looks neat what I seen online right now. It does look very like a pixelated kind of look, kind of like. Apparently, it's from a Korean company called Nervesoft. They closed it down in 2014. And
I heard they were gonna remake it, but I haven't heard much after that. I tried getting like a fake version, but
knockoff.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how to actually install it. I'm like, I give up. And I think they said they were gonna make like a mobile version, but I don't know if it ever happened. Anyways,
the money's done.
It was really fun to play. I thought it was a creative way to each character was very unique. The community was friendly. I made one of my best friends there.
Well, there you go.
And I just remember walking to like, because the cool thing was you could go anywhere, but you know, good luck surviving because you know the monsters will kill you and stuff like that. I remember always trying to sneak in the super high levels areas, like the plus 200 level. I never got past 100. And you know, I would run into people. It's like, hey, you look like you need help. Here's a level 200 weapon.
Here you go, newbie.
They gave me a super strong gun, and I couldn't use it. So I just have so many nice memories of that game.
That is nice.
I just wish they made it again. I remember logging in just to drill, because you could drill in that game. Like you would go to areas and people would just be drilling, because you could get items that way. And sometimes you would need a certain item to complete a quest, but that item would take forever to drill, and people would be selling it in the free market and stuff like that. And it was just a nice atmosphere, a nice community.
Right.
I have no idea why they canceled it, but I guess
probably because they're hemorrhaging money. Probably like unfortunately, like a lot of server.
You weren't getting enough for your money, Frank.
And
WoW exists.
Open
your wallet.
I didn't have money back then.
Save this game, Frank. Without you, Frank.
But yeah, that game was. I remember waking up early, playing it before going to work, and just like grinding and having a Linkin Park in my head.
You're dating yourself, Frank.
And then I know I've just and then they canceled it, and then when the guy from Linkin Park passed away, I remember listening to a song. I'm like, damn, this Trickster, and the guy too.
And Trickster, I remember you, Trickster.
Yeah, so it's just it's one of those games.
Persona 5.
Sometimes I wake up and like, I wish I could play Trickster. I go to sleep angry, but I wake up happy.
There you go. He thinks about Mary Jane at night, and then he wakes up and thinks about Trickster.
He thinks about Trickster in the morning.
There you go. So that was my last pick and my honorable mentions.
Somebody thinks we choose second.
It's all on you, Miles. Don't choke now.
No,
don't drop the ball.
Don't do it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I know it's gonna be really silly. And I know probably Ray's gonna give me a what the hell.
I don't mess.
No, I'm not. I don't mess. Still alive, everyone.
Chaos.
Like this? What?
Chaos not even a game. Oh, yeah, I have the video game, so I think it's not a lie. But that's not the important thing. I wish there was another Mission Impossible game.
Hey, actually, that game was fun.
The video, like
the 64
the video
one?
game. The 64 video game.
Okay, I just want to go all on the same page here because wait, wasn't there a Mission Impossible game on the PS2? I don't know why I'm suddenly remembering this random notion, but I want to say there was.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's also what I remember.
Man, that game brings back memories.
You know, like that, but like we could like today's technology, right? Like you do the whole face shifting, like do like missions and kind of like I would say not like Hitman kind of, right? Because you're obviously not gonna assassinate people.
Right. Well, yeah.
But you do a lot like stealth missions, a lot like I guess kind of like
secret agent stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like that you could do it like easily now, right?
Right.
And Mission Impossible is like I think it's almost at the end. No, I don't know how long Tom Cruise to make movies, right?
Right. We should cash in while the name still means something.
And I feel like we could do that with today's knowledge things and that. We could face changes. We could do goofy things. Barney say most of you. Don't worry, Barney will figure out, guys. He'll figure out.
He's a smart one.
But you could do that. You could at least do that in today's technology. And I feel like enter back then the 64 one at least, right? Despite kind of its swanky controls here and there, I had fun recreating the movie aspect, right?
It was okay. It was okay. I'll give you that.
Yeah, for what it's worth, right?
For a movie tie-in video game, which at the 90s everyone had one and they were like 99% terrible. That one was all right.
And
I had fun playing that game.
And especially the explosive gum. And red light, green light. I mean, like, you could do something like that because I think there's no more stealth or spy.
Yeah,
games anymore.
Yeah, there's no. Well, Splinter Cell's dead apparently.
Well,
that could have made the list.
Yeah, there's another one.
You
reminded me of Perfect Dark and GoldenEye.
Well, we're making a gold. I mean, actually, we did make a GoldenEye, or kind of. We made a GoldenEye.
We brought it back.
We brought it back, I guess. But we're getting a Perfect Dark, Frank.
Well, the second one that they made was terrible.
We don't talk about that one, Frank.
And they announced another one after that.
They're supposedly making a new one.
Fingers crossed.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out in the next few weeks. In the next episode, Frank, we might find out how well or good that has turned out so far.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun.
It's coming out soon.
Hopefully yes, because that is
for Sony for Microsoft.
It's a big title for Microsoft. They announced and they haven't showed it since the announcement, and that was like
I feel
2
like
years
they're
ago.
not gonna deliver on the first one.
It's a tough sell.
You're not wrong,
but they're spending a lot of money to make it happen. So
let's just say this. Just a hot second about next week, right? If they don't, if the Xbox doesn't whisk again on the first party game, right? I don't know.
After this year, there's no. I know Frank asked us earlier in the podcast talking about how many times can we keep saying, oh, it's COVID related, oh, it's 2020 related. After this year, that shit's out the window. You can't like, oh. Virus. Oh, the virus! It's been years. It feels like now since anyone gives a shit about that.
And especially if they're the same people who take the mask off and oh, it's fine, everyone's okay.
Right. So
I kind of hope that it's good. But at the same time, if they drop the ball, that wouldn't be bad. I'll pick up some more stock.
There you go. It's a little cheaper.
Well, I say because especially right now, since Sony pretty much it's like a wet noodle that didn't really do anything really. It's like, this is the moment. It's like the sports analogy real quick. It's like the Lakers and the Clippers, right?
Okay.
The Lakers were down for a couple of years, right?
The Clippers had a chance.
The Clippers had a chance to overtake and be dominant market, and
it didn't ever happen.
It never happened. That's where Xbox is right now. Sony's too busy, not really.
Just going through the motions and not trying.
Nintendo's doing whatever Nintendo does.
They're over there doing their own thing.
So this is it. You have to strike. If you don't strike now,
when are you going to?
Sony's going to come back and finish them off.
Well, I know what's going to happen then because they're just going to not get it done.
I don't know. It's that's true. What Miles just said is because Microsoft, they lost the last generation with the Xbox One. And they've been doing good stuff for this generation with the Series X and S, but you could argue because the S exists, also that's a big negative for Team Xbox. But because the Game Pass exists, and how many games can you play both on console and PC and on your phone and this and that for $15-$20? It's a hard price to beat. But if they can't bring the AAA good stuff with Perfect Dark or Starfield
look up Redfall.
Which I think I talked about last week or last episode. It would be nice if they had their ducks in a row this year. Now would be a good time to do it. But do I personally believe they're gonna do it? No.
So he's staggering. It's going over.
Right. They're waiting for Microsoft to do the finishing blow, and then they are going, I don't know about this input though. That looks like a big click. I'm kind of scared to put that click.
I don't know if I could press this. It's kind of tricky pressing this button.
Up, down, left, right, start, select. Ooh, I don't know about that combination.
But just like a hot tangent. There's like they have to strike now because if they don't strike now,
when are they going to?
Man, I wish you made Mission Impossible or any stealth game really that's like that.
Stealth game, stealth game genre in general.
Another thing about Sony,
we forgot the. Sorry, but the Snake Eater.
You want to talk about Snake Eater for a second, right?
I mean, I want to be excited about it. I did mention it as one of my favorite games of all time in episode 1 of the podcast.
Okay, go ahead. I have my.
There's not too much to get in about it. Instead of, I'm not surprised. Konami's slowly bringing out the IPs again. And it's like, oh, I guess we own this thing called Metal Gear Solid. I guess we should do. What's the most popular one? And for a lot of people, and it turns to be true here on Otaku, when we had that episode where me and Andy both picked MGS3 as our favorite Metal Gear game that made our lists. Yeah, I am excited for the new Delta remake, whatever you want to call it.
Or Triangle, whatever people call it.
Whatever you want to call it. But it was such a quick teaser, or it was such a CG trailer that means nothing. We don't know who's making it.
Which is always
when it's coming out.
That's always fun.
Is Kojima even involved? Probably not.
I don't know. I'd be
very surprised.
I read a line like they were confirmed that Kojima or Koji Pro says no.
Right, which makes sense, but it's just one of those. I feel like if we're going to announce this big of a game, Blue Point makes the most sense. If we're going to announce this big of a game, we should really go swinging and answer like very standard questions. But it was very Snake Eater, get excited, and it's kind of like, yeah, no, that's not how that works for me. So yeah, but they're also bringing back, or they're releasing the I guess HD ports of Solid 1, 2, and 3 also on
and also
newer consoles.
And Metal Gear 1 and 2.
Metal Gear 1 and 2. Oh right, but Japanese too.
Yeah, Japanese
not
too.
Snake's Revenge too.
No, not that classic game.
The real, not real sequel of Metal Gear. But yeah, that was one thing. But yes, I am excited, but also I am not too excited because I expect it to be done dirt cheap.
But I guess I want to say one second before we go was about the Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Oh yeah.
That also I look like, wow, look, we finally after 10,000 years we just made Assassin's Creed again. You know, it took us like a long ass like round like. Oh, you guys want stealth, right? This is what
you actually want stealth and organized.
You want this?
Take out a hit job.
You know,
with the blades.
You know, like no, when every time it's like
I've made a huge mistake.
Let's go back to where it all began.
You know,
I did. I know a lot of people don't like Assassin's Creed 1, but I actually did. Yes, I think 2 and Brotherhood is way better games, but I enjoyed the slow build up and organization of what it takes to take out a big political figure. Versus just like, because to me it's like almost like I guess the more modern day Hitmans where it's like, okay, you can shoot the guy, but then you have to have an escape plan to get out of there, right? Which that was half the appeal of the original Assassin's Creed game. But I feel like in later games it's just like stab a dude and I don't know, just run. Eventually keep running until the game says, all right, you escaped, I guess. So yeah. But
so those also was funny. Like you kill the guy, and then like well, just keep running. The meter's still going. Still going.
And now your pursuers have given up. Well, I guess he got away from us. He only traced people down 20 yards, nothing more. So yeah, that has potential.
Or we actually killed the wrong person and then get the res.
All right, out of sequence.
Whoops, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. But I also haven't played Assassin's Creed in years. Wow. But it's got potential.
Yeah, but that's our hot Ubisoft moment for today.
There you go.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps up this episode before the big showdown.
The hoedown?
But we're close, folks, to the
E3 kind of.
E3 is dead.
Summer Game
Fest, the Keeley show.
The Keeley show.
And like, hey, and I bet you $10. Homeboy is gonna have his homeboy Kojima though show off something Death Stranding or something.
Death Stranding 2 again.
Yeah.
This time we'll get your packages there in 2 days or less.
Hey, yo, man, don't worry. I made a spot for you, man. Don't worry. I got you.
It'll be a lot of news next time. It sounds like.
Yeah. I guess that's. I guess we're
Something to preview and look forward to? Question mark. And more Tears of the Kingdom, I imagine.
Somehow I might get to there eventually.
Miles is like 2 games behind now.
What I missed? Wait, Ganon came back, but how did he come back?
I thought we got him, guys.
You didn't double tap, right?
Got to double. You always got to.
They always got to double tap because you don't double tap, you got to make sure he's dead this time.
They tell him in the timeline.
Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, I was wrong on the stuff. I mean, of course, no co-op. And the other thing, you can fuse shield stuff. Because I had said, I don't think you can fuse anything with the shield.
Oh, there you go.
It was bugging me because I'm like, damn, I said that. And then like the next thing, I'm like, oh.
Lies. We retain such lies on our podcast, Frank.
All I know, I saw Ray play a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom, and it reminds me a lot of Age of Calamity. Here's these items, and I'll put these items together to where I got those stats go up.
Hope you like fusion, people.
I can't. I'm terrified. I can't wait at the same time.
It's a good game, despite its couple flaws.
So I guess that wraps this episode of Otaku. I guess we look forward to our commentary about what's happening. I guess on Sunday the 11th, I think. Right, that's the Xbox one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and Starfield and that's another game so save Xbox's skin. Starfield.
A lot of news, a lot of coverage. I'm gonna have to actually pay attention to for. Oh no,
yeah, we have to wake up. What's going on? Oh, except for Sony, I guess.
Be a real podcast.
And Sony's not here, so Sony already.
We already did that this week, so we checked that box.
Sony left for the building already.
Where's Nintendo at? Who knows?
Foam Star still, guys. Foam Star. That's gonna be.
I love Fortnite and Splatoon.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys say? This is over. What you guys?
Guys?
Classic Square Enix once again trying to catch it.
Live services. If Avengers didn't work, this one surely will.
I guess for that, let's say goodbye, Frank.
Goodbye.
I guess I'll say goodbye.
And I'll say hello.
Well, now that's gonna get us copyright strike. You know that, right?
Again, darn it.
Oh, because of the song?